Is it gonna start? I feel like that beat kind of goes hard at the end, but at the beginning it sounds like
does.
Twilight Zone kind of shit a little bit.
Yeah, no, it does.
Let me stop talking because somebody might criticize this beat a little bit later because, of course, when you're around professionals, that can tend to happen, especially with heavy criticisms, especially if you're experienced in the field and really good at what you do. What's good, Autopsy crew? You're locked in with another no-hold-barred episode of Woke Autopsy, where we slice through the BS, expose the cultural rot, and keep it 100 with the real ones who actually built something. I'm your host, Marte Reyes, IFBB Pro, and constant aggravating debater. I'm the guy who treats woke nonsense like a bad set on leg day where illustrious host.
Yes, that is I, the illustrious host, Cool Vic. How's it going, everybody? YouTuber. I review debates, cover politics, and a whole bunch more on my YouTube channel, Cool Vic.
Yeah, we got one hell of a show. Vic, what would you say about this host if they showed up to a birthday party and the music was lame?
I would say
they just showed up.
I would say you gotta hurry up and fix this. You gotta get some of your beats on there, bro, because this music, this party needs some fixing. That's right. What I would say.
I think we have a solution here for sure.
Yeah.
This guy could definitely be a solution. So, okay, I'm gonna go into this. This is the one place where talent can trump politics, but it's not about politics. But our guest tonight, he's been immune from day one. This man doesn't just make hits. He engineers legacies. That's right. Straight out of Orange County. Oh, God. Okay. Just need an edit machine. Right
Rewind.
now.
Yeah.
Rewind. That's my, ladies and gentlemen, not only am I in color people time, but my Ebonics was taking over. This happens sometimes. Let me get back to the raccoon stuff again. Okay. Back into trash panda mode. That's right. Straight out of Orange County, California. He's the West Coast production doctor who's been cooking up anthems for the legends while the industry was busy chasing clout and virtue signals. We're talking the architect behind Snoop Dogg and Warren G's brand new Cali to Canada single, mixed by the one and only DJ Quick, by the way, the same hands that dropped Mount Cushmore featuring Snoop, Redman, Method Man, and B-Real of Cypress Hill. Ice Cube, check. Cocaine, check. Mount Shadow, Mr. Shadow, check. He even linked with the late, great Slip Capone on an unreleased beat and produced for NBA's San Antonio Spurs. This is the guy who stayed true to hip-hop while everyone else was busy getting woke. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, or better yet, light one up if that's the thing you're going to do. I'm going to introduce our podcast guest right now. Of course, you probably heard that beat before. It's such a reused beat. What's up? We have Dr. Evo.
What up?
So,
what up?
what up, man? How's it going, man? I know that I've seen you around plenty of times before. Damn, I used to have a laugh track, I guess not. But welcome, Dr. Evo. So,
What a hell of
put
an
your
intro.
hands together. So, welcome to the table, fam. We're about to perform the autopsy on where the music game is right now and how real producers like you are still keeping the culture alive. Let's get into this. So, introduce yourself to the audience out there. Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Dr. Evo, and I was the guy behind the curtain. Apparently, this is my face reveal now. So, that's how I like to be. But no, I've been producing music. I was in live bands. I was actually a metalhead first, and you know, I'm just I get lucky. I make some cool sounds, and some people like it, and they say, "Hey, can I put that on my album?" And then I just get lucky. That's how I view it. But everyone seems to think I have this crazy talent that can move mountains, and it's like I get lucky a few times. I make sound. I don't even know how to read music. I just make noises, and it just sounds, correct. And I got lucky a bunch of times, and here we are.
It's crazy because you say this right now, and all I'm hearing is humility. Because if I was working with Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Method Man, Redman, and all these industry artists, I'd be like, yeah, I did that, man. Come on, man. You know how it does. Just dust my shoulders off or whatever.
Yeah.
And instead, I'm hearing humility, and I'm like, oh, God, okay. You're making me like you even more. And I'm so used to doing debates and trying to find some sorts of disagreement with somebody, and you're just coming out here with humility. I'm like, oh, crushed again. It's like I have no point of difference with you. It's good. But yeah, that's crazy. Go ahead, Vic.
Oh, I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah, oh, I thought you were going to say something. Okay.
I think it was Dr. Evo.
I think it was me. My mic, everything sound great?
Oh,
yeah, you're good, man. We did our sound test before. But getting into this right now, you're from Orange County?
Yeah.
Originally?
Yeah. Born in Santa Ana. So, and then I lived in Orange. So,
okay.
That's all Orange County.
So you're Orange County born and raised. How does a kid from the OC end up cooking up death row level heat for Snoop Dogg and Warren G on Cali to Canada in Mount Cushmore with Redman, Method Man, and Be Real? Walk with us through that first real breakthrough moment. What was that like working with these artists?
Well, I remember I was with the wife. We were shopping, and I sent. So Snoop has this little youth football league that he goes up to the Big Bear Mountains and does like this football tournament with his kids. And I called him once. I was nervous to call him. I didn't want to, but anyways, I made a bunch of beats, and I was like, I'm gonna call him and kind of press him a little and go, let me pull up on you, because his studio's out in Inglewood, but I'm in Arizona right now. So at the time I called him, and he sends one of those auto replies, and it said, "Can I call you back?" And I said, "Oh, okay, I guess he's busy." And he texted me back there, goes, "I need some heat though. Send me some heat." And I go, "Oh, I'm the guy." So I sent him 3 beats, and he sent me the specific one. I think at the time Mount Cushmore was called Bounce something, whatever, some generic name I had for it. And he goes, by the time he liked it, and he sent me a bunch of fireball emojis. He threw in a cucumber. It was weird. But anyways.
Cool. As long as it wasn't an eggplant, we good. I mean,
right, yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Stuff. So it was still kind of like you didn't have to decode it or anything. But
hold on. Let me ask you a question real quick. You didn't work with Diddy, did you? At any point?
No.
Or okay.
No Diddy parties.
That was a close one, Vic.
I know, right?
Oil in this vicinity. But,
good. That's good.
No, but we were I forgot what aisle we were in. We're shopping, and I get a text, and he goes, "This beat's so dope. I'm gonna get Redman, Be Real, and Method Man on this beat." And he texted me that, and I show my wife. She goes, "Well, that's nice," because she's mildly interested in mostly anything. But I was like, "You don't understand what this is."
Yeah,
that's nice. That's what she said.
Nice.
That's nice.
Yeah. Well, she kind of even keels me, because I'm like I'm either really excited or really down, so she kind of evens me out. But she's like, that's cool, and I'm like, you don't really understand how cool this is, and I just had to re-emphasize it. But as we're checking out, I'm just like geeking out. I'm like, are you serious? I'm texting him back like, am I dreaming? Like that kind of thing. So Of
That's
course,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, he just told me, and
Yeah.
he kind of manifested it. And at the time, he was sorry to use the word manifest, but he kind of like spoke it into existence. Literally, he said, "This beat's so good," and he already had these guys set out. And that's when he was already going on a Mount Cushmore tour, which was separate from that song. But we didn't even know he was going to call him Mount Cushmore at that time. But it's because he put all those guys that were on Mount Cushmore together, he ended up just calling it that. But throughout that process, I would send him the beat. He'd say, "Hey, let's do this instead." He was kind of like, let's take that part off. And so I was kind of producing it over the phone through emails. And pretty much I had an idea, and I said, why don't we add a car horn? I don't know if you've ever heard the song, but there's an actual car horn in there. They did that in post-production. His team did that, his engineer. But
Damn.
I was kind of like my idea, and then Snoop goes, "We're going on tour. We don't have time to do all these things that you want, And I was like, "Okay, well, just do whatever." Like he goes, then he called me a day later and goes, "I got everyone's fucking vocals." He was like all mad or something. I was like, "Well, send them over to me." He goes, "Well, we don't have time." He's like, "I trust you. You put it together. You arrange it how you want." So it was actually up to me to put Redman in the beginning. Be Real was next. So I kind of put them in that order and did my own post-production over that. So it was kind of cool that he trusted me to kind of quarterback it from there. And I had a few more ideas I threw at him, and we didn't have that much time. It was a time crunch. So it was kind of a quick little thing that we put together, and it was, I got luck. That's what I'm saying. I was luck. I wasn't like
that's great. You're in Walmart and Snoop is hitting you up. Yeah. And it's funny because, matter of fact, Vic, you know who this is. The lady who got the real felony that was with him in the picture is really funny. Margaret, what was her name? Martha Stewart?
Yeah.
And
Martha.
You're in Walmart, probably next to like Martha Stewart products, and you're getting messaged by Snoop. So what a crazy life is. Just funny the way that happens.
Yeah.
But I do have a question. That's crazy. She said, "That's nice, honey." You don't understand, babe. This is crazy. This is Snoop. Like, this is like the Soul Plane 15 is coming out. Like, that's crazy. But so that was a crazy moment. So you just dropped Certified G's with Ice Cube, Mr. Shadow, and Cocaine. Ice Cube linking with Chicano Rap, royalty for the first time. What was that session like, and how does it feel to bridge those worlds when the industry keeps trying to divide people sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, he did get a lot of pushback. I mean, it was like there was a lot of like hate, and there is a brown-black kind of divide where people do want to see them together, and then sometimes they don't, and it's like, this is our way to unify them and stuff like that. And the crazy thing, it really is Ice Cube doesn't really feature much. Snoop will go jump on anything. He'll go on any album. You see him, he almost says no to nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you could say no to a few things. I always think, but
yeah.
But Ice Cube, yeah, it was a weird one. The way that one formulated was Cube, well, it was for Mr. Shadow's album. I produced 9 songs on his last album. This is like his 26th studio album. He's a San Diego rapper. He's a local I don't think you have any Shadow fans in here, but he made his waves in the 90s. He's been rapping since back then. And he had this 26th album idea, and he said, "I need these beats." So I was doing 3 songs with him already, and he woke me up. He goes, "Hey, Evo, what would you think if I can get Ice Cube? Would you have a beat?" And the funniest thing about this beat, and I said, There was one beat in mind. And I said, "Are you crazy? I just woke up to it." And I'm like, I have one beat in mind. And I'm working with this guy from the Ukraine. He's a producer named Nocturne. And we worked on a song. I posted it on my Instagram. I'm playing my fretless bass. By the way, I use that bass in Mount Cushmore also. So hopefully one day that could be like a signature piece. But nice. I added a bass line to it, a live bass line, and I posted it in 2017. I actually have it kind of screenshotted, and I even tagged Ice Cube. I go, "This is for Ice Cube. He's gonna love this," or something. I was just trying to clout chase at that time. I was still trying to make my bones. And when he said, "Do you have anything for Cube?" This is 2024 when he said that. So this is 7 years later. I resurrect that beat again, and I go, "Dude, this is the one. Trust me." I made it for him. It had his signature sound. And the funny thing is I send it to him. He sends it to Cube. Cube goes, "I love that beat. let's take this part out, because I had this little sample. This guy was saying diamonds in my chains, or he was saying something. It was a sample we were using, but he said take that out and put cocaine on the hook, because cocaine was kind of the glue. He was the guy who hooked us both up.
Yeah.
So he said put cocaine on the hook and take that thing off. I go cool. So he's kind of already co-produced in the song just by that input there. So I take it off, and cocaine puts a hook on it first, and he goes, now I want to hear what Shadow's going to say on it, because I don't want to just rap with anyone. But Shadow's been doing this a long time. He's real seasoned. He's kind of like I would say he's like a Chicano version of Exhibit's delivery. He has kind of a raspy voice in his
not like a Chicano part of like South Park Mexican, right?
No. This is he's a San Diego.
Okay.
He's always introduced as a San Diego legend. Him and Little Rob. Little Rob's probably a little bit more famous that people know, and he's got a couple.
Yeah.
And they were actually they were real tight in the beginning, and then they had their little beef. I think it was over a chick, but we can get into that later.
Oh wow.
Oh damn.
It always is, isn't it? But
Yes.
no, but Cube liked it, and then I heard from Cube's management after they put a couple things over it. They did their verses. It was just a rough draft, but I heard that Cube was at a barbecue and playing it for everyone. Like that's how proud of it he was.
Damn, that is
kind of weird to hear that. I was like, what? And then they found he goes, who made this beat? He asked Shadow. Shadow goes, oh, he goes, Dr. Evo. He goes, ain't that Snoopy's producer? He called him Snoopy.
Damn.
And I was like, how do you wait? So he knows who I am? That's crazy to me.
You were getting traction even then. That's crazy. So in the space of time when you had this come out, like you're talking about Certified G's, and then you had Mount Cushmore. What was the length of time? Were they like close together, or was it after a while then this happened?
Yeah, Cushmore is 2017. So that's old news now in today's world. But
music kind of changes fast sometimes. Yeah.
So 17. Yeah, it's 8 year gap between those two.
Yeah, I can see that. It's
and then
funny.
Cali to Canada was 2024.
Yeah, that was the most recent thing that we saw that you dropped. So it's like there's a lot of things I'm going to ask you about, but a lot of this is pertaining from So you had unreleased heat with the late great Slip Capone back in 2011 on Slippery When Wet from that Lost Golden Gate Bridge album. What was it like working with him in the Anaheim studio, and what stories from those sessions still hit different today?
Okay, yeah. Oh, I wasn't even prepared, but it just like a light bulb. They called him, his name is Chris, and they called him Cross-Eyed Chris. He had like a cross-eyed. He couldn't drive because of his eye issue or whatever. Anyway, someone at my studio, my local homegrown studio of my no-name rappers that we had in Anaheim, said, hey, remember Slip Capone? He was on Murder Was the Case soundtrack with Snoop Dogg. And I go, I remember that guy. Yeah, he's over here at the thing. You want to meet him? And I go, yeah. And they're like, dude, you got to meet this guy. He makes crazy beats. We grabbed him from a smoke shop because a couple of our friends own smoke shops out there in Santa Ana. We picked him up, took him to the studio. He fell in love instantly with all the stuff I was showing him. He goes, I want you to produce my whole album. And I said, well, that's kind of, okay, that's not a big task or anything. I guess I can do that. So we're just sifting through everything. I like that one. And then, the funny thing about production is, I don't know if there's any producers in the chat or anything, but the ones that you really like, the ones that you really want to show off are usually the ones they don't like. They pass on those. And I think the reason why we like them is because we're adding so many instruments and bells and whistles. And we're like, hey, do you see that little violin strike I put there on the offbeat? And they're like, I don't care about that. Those are the nuances they don't care about. They want a wide open beat so they can, start spitting to it. So I've noticed the simpler it is, the better. And you learn that over time. I'm 20 years into it, but anyway, so go ahead.
You've been in this for a minute. 20 years?
Yeah, 2005 I started. So what is that?
Wow.
21? Yeah, about 21. Yeah. But I've been doing before that in high school. I was playing in band. I was playing metal bands and stuff. So I didn't start with the beat thing. That's a whole.
So you started out like garage bands with guitars, maybe, or were you doing vocals? What were you doing?
Bass. Because my brother played in a punk band called Just Because, and he tried out for the Descendants in 1986. I just, I'm adding all these fun factoids, but he he tried out for them, and they said he didn't move his head around and move around enough. But that was their critique. But he knew the music, he knew all their songs, he was playing everything right. And as a kid watching, I learned that later in life. But as a kid watching him in my room, he would sit there and slap and play along to Flea, the Chili Peppers. And I'd watch him, and he had this like weird sniff to his timing. He'd go. And I would, because he just had headphones on. I couldn't hear the song. All I heard is slapping and sniffing. It was this weird timing thing. Now I understand what the timing problem is, but they called him Flea as a nickname. So I watched him slap. And then he used to work at Anaheim Stadium where the Angels play. And he would go, I got to go to work tonight. Don't touch my fucking bass. And I said, I'm not touching that thing. That's weird.
My brother's all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went over there and I said, it's just like Step Brothers when don't touch my drums kind of situation. That's why that's so relatable.
That's crazy. So you've already had like an ear for me, because it's funny because you opened up. I noticed this because my recall's halfway decent. I'm not like Alzheimer's yet, but you were saying like, I don't know musical theory and all this other stuff, but now you're telling me this whole lore. Like I grew up and I did metal first. We were doing this and I had a band and all that. I'm like, hold on. We're unlocking new levels of like Dr. Evil here. So there's all this. So, because I have to ask, so you're not just into rap, you're into some metal too?
Yeah, I'm very. So the singer of Lamb of God, Randy Bly, he actually followed me when Mount Kush, or no, what was that?
Wow.
The Ice Cube song. When the Ice Cube song came out, what was that one called? Certified G's. Apparently he was invited to like the release party out there in LA. I was, out here, but he was invited to the album release party. And then a day later I post something and he'd commented on it or something like that. I thought that's how it was. But I said, wow. Dude, even Randy from Lamb of God likes my song with Ice Cube, which is a weird connection. I don't know. And he goes, hey, are you out here in LA? And I was like, hold on, now I want to know why you're even asking me that. Or is there you need a bass player? No. But I was geeking out. I even showed the wife again. Here's my wife's in this all these stories. I wake her up. Look, Randy's texting me. He said I'm amazing. Isn't that crazy? That's nice.
The unimpressed wife.
Yeah. Like, all right, cool.
Actually unimpressed.
Yeah.
But he goes, he's all, you're damn right. I like that shit or something. And then he reposted it. And it was so cool. It was so weird. It's just a weird crossover to go from Snoop. That whole stretch is just, it's a weird, I don't know what the word is.
So, Dr. Evil, I have a feeling like you guys ever seen that episode of Rick and Morty when they play those beats for those aliens and they're like, play the beat again. I feel like if you save the planet with beats, your wife's going to be like, oh, that's nice. You save the planet again with some beats. Like, it's like, it would be crazy.
All right. That's nice.
The planet's safe again. What do you want for dinner, honey? It's like, oh,
well, I always tell my mom always used to say, well, wear something warm. She would always finish it with like some idle thing. And I always tell my wife that I married my mom because she says the same type of like bumper sticker stuff. And I'm just like, okay, you're just trying to keep everything calm. It's just funny how she's so much like my own mom. But I don't expect anyone to get that excited. That's the thing. Sometimes you get black-pilled because you kind of get really geeked out about the things that happen. Hey, so-and-so messaged me. And then everyone's kind of like, I don't even know who that is. So therefore I don't care. But if someone told me they worked with Garth Brooks, I'm not like a country guy. I would be geeked out for you. I would understand the magnitude,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
So I want to present something real quick because I tried to download it, but YouTube wouldn't let me do this. So we're going to probably have to edit this out of the live stream as I post a restream, Vic. But I have questions. This isn't a gotcha. This is just something that you produced. A person that we all know and love. I just want to play a little bit of this because I didn't know that there was an actual music video for this. You know what this is, right?
I know what that is. There's no copyright, by the way.
There isn't?
No, because I own it.
Oh. Yeah, but they might copyright us because you own it.
Oh, that's weird.
Why are you so big? Why are you so big? Why are you so big? Why are you so big?
So we get the point here. But it's like that's a fire beat though with Jim Bob. Like I didn't know that he did a whole music video for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm teamed up with Ozzy. Ozzy was he was a random guy that came in and he did here's even a crazier. I mean, just so many stories could spawn off of that. But you know,
Yeah.
Jimmy did a song called "Lie to Me." It was his folk song. He plays it a lot live too. With it's his own original song he wrote. But when he followed me back on Instagram, I go, dude, that's crazy. You're following me back. He goes, that's crazy. You're following me. You're like a producer. And I'm like, hey, that's crazy. Let's be friends and do karate in the garage or whatever. So, so he goes, hey man, I got the song. I like to see if you can add some, things to it. And I did. I took all of his tracks and he had this song "Lie to Me." It's out actually on his Bandcamp. I told him to go to Bandcamp and put it up there. I don't think it's on Spotify or anything. But that's a folk song, which is like way out of my element. But I know like musical timing. So I added some violins and some extra, like some xylophones and things like that. So he actually reposted it and he tagged me in it. And he goes, hey, what do you want for that? He goes, do you want me to give you some of my, like my whole collection of meme books? And I was kind of still new to the whole arena. I'm like, what? You write books? Like I was just like a casual fan. I'd watch him every once in a while, and then I just became more and more of a fan because he, gave me a chance to produce them, and it was kind of cool because it started with L's in the chat. That was my first like hip where I got to actually add my own flair to the.
Oh
hip.
wow!
I remember that beat. That was a pretty good beat. L's in the chat was good. So,
yeah.
That's Meg Bob's, his wife's problem.
I gotta ask a question real quick because you know what I love about this interview so far. Like I don't have to do a lot of work. You just keep talking and you're making things good. You're making my job easier. But I do have to ask, how did you meet with Jim Bob? And I understand you work with Jay Dyer, people like this. And one thing that's a commonality, they're all Christians. Well, Orthodox, but Christians. We go into this. How did you meet Jim Bob? Did you just DM him or did he DM you or Jay? How did that get set up?
I think I followed Jay and then Jay followed me right back. And I thought that was like, what are you following me for? Like, I don't know. I guess you go to my page and you see I'm doing something. I'm not just an average guy, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I'm cool. I'm not like Cool Vic over here.
Vic is actually pretty cool. So his namesake, anyways. Damn, I'm not that cool. Whatever.
He spells it cool with a W.
Yeah.
Now he followed me back. I was just like, dude, you're like if Jay had a conversation with me, he'd be like, oh, you know how bored he gets really fast. He'd be like, this guy's a mouth breather. I don't even want to talk to him. I mean,
that's how I feel when I'm on a panel with Jay. I did a panel with him, and I think it was on somebody else who shall not be mentioned channel. It was like their celebration, or I think it was Andrew Wilson's birthday. It was me. Jay Dyer was on that panel. A couple of other people. Chase Haggard was on that panel too. And I was like, man, I'm probably going to bore the shit out of Jay Dyer if Jay Dyer gets on here. Like, I'm just going to be, I had the same feeling in his presence on the panel. And I'm just like, well, I'm glad it's not just me feeling like this.
That's why it's cool that I'm using the musical avenue. So he doesn't have high expectations. Like you need to know what epistemic foundations are and all these things. I could just totally just go, I don't know, dude. I play the bass. I can get away with But
you can just be like, I just make the music. I don't gotta, answer to all this other stuff.
Well, I could just tell Jay Dyer we was Kangs and I'm already black, so he's already gonna no expectations. I'll just play the card, just keep it moving, play ignorant.
Yeah, did you see his interview or his debate today? Did you know he debated today?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I saw that. Hilarious. That was hilarious. That debate was hilarious. The guy was funny because he was like, well, especially when he talked about God's nature, he was like, no, he has the same nature as God, but he's created, but God isn't created and he has the same nature. Just like, bro, you just owned yourself here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good debate.
The funny thing about that is he's the guy from I sampled him. That was him on.
Wait, that was him?
That was him.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
That's the guy I sampled in that song.
Oh, wow.
Remember he said Mary. Yeah, Mary was. What did he say in that song? He was like Mary's was black or something. I don't know. I clipped it, and that's kind of what I put. And then it was Jay reacting to him. But I thought it was ironic that they met, and they could have totally said, "Hey, while they were doing that rhetoric back and forth, he could have just said, oh, this video, by the way, thanks for making my video," and he would have never I don't think he's heard that song.
So hold on,
Yeah,
you're
he was
listening
like,
to this debate, and you're like, "What kind of content can I clip from this for my next beat?" The whole time, like,
Oh, that's what I told you.
farming the next
Dude.
beat from this debate with Jay Dyer and Captain Crack, whatever his name is. But anyways,
Yeah.
you can be farming beats. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, he was. I mean, he was saying so many things that were clippable because he started off saying, "I'm not going to insult." This guy called me a bad word. I'm not going to insult. And then at the end, all of his insults were so like into a rap song. I can clip all those and just that's going to be the hook. It's going to be We Was Kangs Part 2. I already see it. So,
Now you got part 2 lined up already.
Yeah.
Okay, we farmed part. You heard it here first. The exclusive. We Was Kangs Part 2. We got a little preview. Now we know that there's an exclusive. You heard it here first. We Was Kangs Part 2 is coming out. Wait, hold on. I need to ask you seriously. Would that be a thing that would probably happen?
what do you mean? Of course. That's literally what?
Oh, this is a certified exclusive, Vic. This is
Nice.
I love it.
It almost has to
Autopsy
happen.
exclusive.
I mean, your chat. See if your chat even know. They know it's coming.
Okay, all right.
That's
We
one of
got
my favorite
We Was
comments.
Kangs exclusive coming out. Nice.
That's one of my favorite comments in the live chat when someone's acting dumb. I say, "I'll make you famous. You better calm down." And then when they say stupid stuff, I get to go ahead and clip it and turn you into a meme.
This is why I'm glad that I'm on the right side of things and I'm not anti-Evo. I'm anti-evil, just not anti-Evo. So that way I don't get clipped out of context and stuff. I already know what it feels like dealing with trolls and things like that. But I'd hate to get clipped on a beat and then because I get dunked on and wrecked in a debate and then here comes Evil streaming along and now I'm bobbing my head to my own destruction.
Yeah, that's like having a gun to your head and getting kicked in the nuts at the same time.
that's wild.
Next time they'll learn,
That's crazy. I have to ask you a question. So you've done production for NBA San Antonio Spurs. How does a hip hop producer go from G-Funk anthems to NBA content? What was that, a culture shock or just another beat to flip?
That one was a weird one. That was post. I mean, Mount Cushmore kind of spiraled me. I mean, it was kind of making a lot of noise from there. And at that time I had a manager and he said, that strike while the iron's hot. A lot of people are kind of got their eyes on you. And one of the guys that was following me, I don't notice some of the people that follow me, just because they don't have 100,000 followers doesn't mean they're not anybody. I've met a lot of people in the industry only have a couple hundred followers and they're like big movers. And one of the guys, his name was Doug. I don't know if he'll ever see this. He's moved on from the Spurs team, but he was part of the digital marketing team. And he was already a fan of my music just in general, I think because of that song. But
damn.
He sent me this long DM. He said, "Would you be interested in making music for the Spurs?" And this was Kawhi Leonard's last year, 2017, I think. Yeah, 17-18 season. And of course, I'm not going to shoot anything down. And we got on this conference call with my management and him, and they put me on a retainer. They paid me a monthly fee. They wanted me to make a home opener for the Jumbotron when they walk out, the whole walkout song.
Yeah.
They paid me separate for that. It was a separate fee, a flat rate. And that's for all 41 home games because they play 82 total. So 41 of them are at home. Yeah, everything was lawyers and contracts and it was real legit. It wasn't like, "Hey dude, let me get that beat." Like most of the stuff I get, it's like, there's lawyers involved and legalities and things like that. But, he just reached out to me because I guess he was just a casual fan. So like I said, that's luck. Being in the right place at the right time, but luck's a factor there. So I was, grateful. It didn't happen again the next year. That was the end of it. But we would get together, like there would be like Halloween's coming up. Can we make like a spooky beat and stuff? And it was like sometimes the suits would get involved, and I'm like, well, that's not how creativity works. But yeah, we can probably work something out. And there was a lot of pressure and deadlines. I got to learn a lot about deadlines. And with creativity, any creatives out there, you don't just clock in at 9 and then clock out at 5 and go, "I just created everything." It's sometimes you don't have anything. You're not in the good mood. You don't feel like it. Like there's a lot of vibes that come with music, as cringy as that is.
I feel like you're never going to run out of work because you just brought up like seasonal work, like in a way where it's like, okay, Christmas is coming up. They might hit me for a Christmas beat, like things like this. And I feel like that's like, kind of, you can attribute that to seasonal work. If they're telling you October's coming up, we need a scary beat or anything like that. Like I don't think you could run out of work, especially because music is constantly going to be the heartbeat of life that we live in society here. We're always listening to something, whether or not it's podcasts, whether or not it's a flow that's happening in a cadence with somebody's argumentation that happens. Like, if you think about it, beats are woven into everything. And literally, you're the orchestra behind a lot of real beats that are happening. The music industry has changed a lot since you started. Streaming has happened. Algorithms are happening. TikTok cloud is happening. When did you first notice in the woke virus creeping in the West Coast sound? How did you stay immune to all this while getting Snoop, Cube, cocaine checks, things like this? How did you stay away from like feeding into like a lot of the negativity in the industry while doing this? And how did you stay away from, like, I'm pretty sure, like, because even in the sports industry, I was invited to a lot of parties where I was like, I know it goes down at that party. I don't want to be involved in that because that could be a bad headline failure for me. Because if it goes south, it's like that's going to be bad. How did you keep your head on straight doing all this?
I don't even know if it's really on straight, to be honest. So I'm a little
Well, as straight as possible.
Yeah, as straight as it could be. I don't know, man. I just kind of swat away the stuff I disagree with and then just push forward. I know it's kind of like this. What is it? The group think. There's this group think where everyone did had to put the black square, and then it's like, okay, racism's fixed now, thanks. And everyone was kind of like,
oh, we blacked everything out. Yeah, that's
right.
True. I remember when that whole thing happened. Yeah.
But anytime someone did it, it was just a hey, I'm one of the good ones. Don't worry. And it was kind of like this virtue thing. And I just kind of go, oh, well, and just scroll past it instead of like going into the comments and going like nuclear on everyone and going, yeah, but you know what? Like factually, actually, I didn't want to get into that because, by the way, my page is a music page and I hate watching celebrities tell me their politics. I'm like, I like you because of the sound you make or the thing you do here. I don't really care about all the little nuances with your political view. Plus, it's mostly pushed. There's like a machine pushing it, so it's like,
and there's a lot of L's associated with that when people say things. Like, it could tend up losing people's fan base and things like that. And I can understand why artists, producers, people like that don't want to get political because that's half your base. Like, we've seen that in the debate community where it's like all of a sudden you like stab somebody in the back and you lose half your followers. Or you're in the music industry. Not to touch too close to home, Vic, on certain aspects of our industry ourselves. But like, if you think about it, like it's understandable why you wouldn't want to like bleed politics in where you're at. So speaking of which, I have to ask you, Dr. Evil, what's the biggest L you ever took in this game? And what lesson did it teach you?
I don't know how to call it an L. Maybe it's an L. It's an L for, I think it's in the end, it's an L for them, but I had a song with Dub C. Do you guys, anyone know who Dub C is? He's always on stage with Cube. He goes out.
I know who that is.
Oh yeah.
And here's another guy named Melee, Young Melee, and he's actually the voice of San Andreas.
Oh, so, wow.
DJ?
What is it? Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas. He's the voice of the main character, but he also crip walks and does the stuff with Cube. So it's all three of them. They're part of the West Side Connection. But anyways, apparently we had this big hit song. They recorded a video to it, and I found out later that everything's done. He even wrote it. I have a screenshot of it somewhere, but he said, oh, I got the video. You got the single on the next album. It's going to be amazing. Years go by and nothing's happening. So I'm like, hey, where's this song? This great song you guys recorded a video to. And it took me literally last year. I found out. This is, by the way, 2018 when this was happening. This is last year. I finally text him and I go, hey, man, what happened to that song? We were supposed to have this big hit single, right? You hyped it up and everything. And you even shot a video. You had to get, personnel involved. It wasn't like the AI days or you can just whatever. But he goes, you know what, man? You posted that beat to the public and people reacted to it already. So I don't want to release it anymore.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I went, what do you mean?
What the hell?
I said, it's just the beat. The instrumental's separate. By the way, I posted it years ago. People aren't like connected to that. Like beats, they didn't go viral or anything and no one's using it.
Yeah.
He told me, because you posted it, I don't want to use that song anymore. I'm like, so you wrote lyrics, you did a chorus. I'm assuming you got it mastered. Actually, I do know you got it mastered because the guy named Seagal, which is Dre's engineer, is the one who mixed it, and he tagged me in the post and said, we got a big hot one coming, years ago. They're hyping it up and stuff. And the whole thing got thrown away because I posted the beat randomly. Sometimes I'll just kind of like, so the problem with music is
That's crazy.
the problem with
Yeah,
music is we have to have someone else hear it. Otherwise, we don't know if it's good or not. Like if we hear it on a loop, you get a thing called ear fatigue. You don't know if it's cool anymore.
Yeah.
So-
So we were going to have a guest, Mass Pike Miles. By the way, Mass Pike got back to me. He's probably going to be on the podcast in the future. CP time. You know how that goes. But like Mass Pike had a beat that was like on one of his songs, and it was an R&B song that he was singing. And now it's like, I was like, damn, that sounds familiar. And it was on 50 Cent's show. Like 50 Cent had a show. And I'm like, this is the opener to the show. And I'm just like, they're reusing this. And it was just as hot. I know in the industry, people reuse beats all the time. Joel Santana was using the R&B beat on a mixtape. And I was like, oh, that's fire. Because you can breathe new life into certain things. And then people use this all the time. Like the whole theme, there's nothing new under the sun. Like I can definitely understand this, but there's nothing wrong with doing like remakes and doing a new rendition of something. Matter of fact, this can go to movies. The Fly, the black and white original one, people say remakes are trash. Well, you can do this with music too. I'm pretty sure you could say this. The Fly, the black and white one was like, okay, but then Jeff Goldblum came and the remake on this was like the best thing you've ever seen. By the way, they're doing like another remake. Who knows how that's going to go. In music, I say this all the time. So I don't understand why they would throw a whole beat away just because somebody heard this. I'm just going to say that's crazy.
It's this weirdest thing. And actually, I didn't even know what the beat was before I posted it. I asked my manager because he's close with them. I go, do you know what beat they recorded to? I never even got to hear the song, so I don't even know what it sounds like. And I sent him 3 songs, so it could have been one of those 3. So I guess I got unlucky by posting the beat that they recorded to, which they held from me. So aren't I the producer? I'm supposed to know how this is. Like, why are you not sharing? Why are you reluctant to share that with me? Producers own 50% of every song, by the way, unless they co-produce it, then they have to split their royalties up. But like the Mount Cushmore. Oh, sorry, you were saying something. You cut
your microphone, Marte. Can't hear you. No, can't hear you. I can't hear you still. Well, I guess it's just us while he's fixing his microphone problems. Yeah, it's just us. So I wanted to ask, like, how did you go?
Nothing.
Still can't hear you. Still can't hear you. While he's fixing that, a super chatter sent in a question. To be honest, I don't know what they meant by this, but can you ask the man to make something to take out Mariah Carey?
Oh, he probably wants me to like clip her and then roast her with it and turn it into a meme song.
I see.
Probably, I would assume.
Yeah. That's probably so. That was his question. Take out Mariah Carey, I guess. Thank you very much, Letty. Go ahead.
I was assuming that's what he meant.
Yeah. Marte?
What's your beef with Mariah Carey, by the way?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know what their beef with Mariah Carey is, but they just sent that in. So, Christmas song takeover, they're saying. I don't know. Maybe they're tired of hearing.
I was talking about themes, holiday themes, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they keep replaying her song gets replayed every Christmas season. He's probably sick of it.
Yeah, exactly. You know what happens every time it's Christmas? They bust out the "All I Want for Christmas Is You" song.
Yeah.
So it's probably what happened.
Talk about royalties. Those are probably nice.
Yeah, I know, right? Seriously. So while Marte's getting that all fixed up, I had a question to ask. How did you go from like being a metalhead to getting into beats, making songs for like rap artists and such?
I think my brother picked me up from school. I was already into like like the punk stuff and the heavy stuff as a kid. I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, Metallica and all that. And then my brother picked me up once. Do you want to do? Are we doing a mic check? You good? I feel like
Still
you're
can't
missing
hear you.
out because we don't hear you.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to enter the chat and just chat your answers now, dude.
Yeah. Hold up a sign maybe with what you want to ask.
You're gonna send in a
chalkboard.
super chat.
Yeah, send it a super chat.
Anyways, I'll just tell the story and keep the flow going here if you want. But he put NWA in, and it was "Fuck the Police," and I was just in grade school. I went to a Catholic school for 9 years, so that was just
Okay.
like virgin ears hearing that. And I
Yeah.
remember just looking at my brother like, "Whoa, you could tell the police that?" Like, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
And he's like, "Don't tell mom I let you hear this." And I always thought, like, man, the way that hit at that time. It's not like right when it came out. He just had a cassette tape, so I don't know if I'm that old, but yeah, well, he played it he put the cassette in, and I just went like, "Take another lap around the block. I got to hear this again. This is amazing." And
Yeah.
so I kind of correlated, like, I liked hardcore, anything hardcore. If it was angry, if it was heavy, hit hard, I liked that. And that's kind of how, when I got into the hip hop stuff, I had to make my drums hit hard. Nope. What'd you do? Did you unplug the mic? Did you try plugging it in like a wife?
Yeah, I know, right? Unplug it, plug it back in. By the way, I so get what you mean when you tell your wife something that's really cool, and they're like, "Oh, that's nice." Because
Yeah.
I was the same way when because Andrew Wilson surprised me like a few months ago on my stream for the first time, and I was a big Andrew Wilson fan. And he came onto my stream for the first time, and I was like, "No way!" Like, I've been watching this guy, and he's on my stream, and I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
And so after it's over, after my streams are, I go down to my family, their dinner's ready, and I like tell my wife, "Hey, guess what? Like, Andrew Wilson just came on my stream," and she's like, "Oh," because she doesn't know who he is. And it's just one of those things where it's like, "Well, that's cool." And here I am, I'm like stoked, and I'm like, I wish I could tell someone that could just be like, "Whoa!" But it's
It
one
was
of
just
those
a
things,
surprise cameo visit or what?
Yeah, it was just a surprise cameo visit. Like, he was in my chat, and he's like, "Oh, send me a link." And then he came up. He's like, "I just wanted to say thanks for covering my debates and stuff." And I was like geeking out because I was like, "Whoa, I can't believe he's here."
I'd probably need some new shorts too. That would be exciting for me too. He's
Yeah.
another one of those guys that's like, I don't even know if we'd be in the same room. I guess we could talk metal. That would probably be it. But I actually used to send him. I used to send him when he was back in the old Zen Shapiro days. I don't know if you were there during that time.
I wasn't. I know who that is, but I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't there that far enough though.
Okay, here we go. Oh no. You would think the audio guy would be able to give you some input, but
yeah, I
how many other mics do you have?
Yeah, do you have a spare mic? One, just one. Dang. That sucks. Does anyone know how to read lips? Dang, poor Marte. He had microphone issues like a few weeks ago. I thought he got them all fixed, but I guess not.
Yeah, if this was Andrew's stream, there'd be so many L's right there, boomer L's and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I know. Mr. E would be getting cussed out.
That's right. Yeah. But you couldn't hear him getting cussed out, but at least we know that where his heart would be intended.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you would be able to see it.
Yeah, he takes a good amount of abuse. Poor kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that'd be kind of cool for him to show up. But I'm not, like I said, this is my first time ever being on stream. So these guys probably in the chat, if they even know who I am through Jim Bob and stuff, they probably never even seen me. So that's kind of cool.
Yes.
That's cool for you guys that you get to see me.
Yeah.
I was trying to be a dick about it, but
someone in my chat was like, "Oh, Dr. Evil, cool." So yeah, there's some people I recognized you. Yeah. And a lot of people that watch me and Marte's channel, they know who Jim Bob is. They know who Jay Dyer is. So Yeah,
Yeah.
to see the guy that created that song, the "Why Are You Gay" song, it's pretty awesome.
Do you follow Cringecore? Do you know about what we got going on over there? Cringecore Records on YouTube.
Copy. Can you guys hear me?
There he is.
Hey, you're
Oh,
What did
back.
you do? What did you do and
So-
remember that?
What I did was I hit a mic that I didn't have. It was like some Motive mic that I used to have, and I switched it back to the Rodecaster. Gosh, you know what? We was Kangs. I'll just blame it on that. Blame it on that all over again.
No, that whole
You can
IQ
put me
thing
on the
is-
second track, by the way, too. My ignorance and everything else. But anyways, back to this. All right. What a crazy conundrum for me to have to deal with tech issues. But I'm back. Yeah, I have a lot of questions, but I also didn't want to interrupt the conversation you guys were having.
Yeah, I
Oh.
was just trying to pick to keep the momentum going, but it was idle chat. We can go to where you need to go.
Okay. All right. I do have a question real quick, because I know that there's this whole rumor of people selling their soul in the industry. Have you ever seen this, or do you believe that people can sell their souls in this industry? Do you think that happens often? Because talking about the biggest L you took, I'm pretty sure you've seen L's with artists in the past and things like this, because there's rumors that people are selling their soul, maybe some deity, things like this. Do you believe that this happens in the industry?
Oh, you mean kind of like the you're talking like the esoteric kind of J stuff, like the
Yeah. Do you think
sacrificing
that
and being
happens? Like, you know, I want to be famous. I want to, like, there was a guy who was a blues singer back in the day who met Satan at the crossroads and sold his soul. Like the whole 27 curse, Amy Winehouse at 27, things like this. Do you believe that this goes on in the industry sometimes? Have you ever seen anything weird?
I don't
unusual?
I don't look deep into that, because then I just become like ooh, it happened on the 27th day. Oh, and then I turn into the gematria guy. And then I'm like,
yeah.
I try to just brush things off as coincidences, but
Yeah.
no, I don't really know. Most of my relationships are usually Instagram is probably the only reason why people know who I am, because I've networked through that. You know what's funny is R.A. Rugged Man followed me. I don't know if you know who he is. That might be more nuanced hip hop stuff, but he's a Philadelphia guy. He was on Tim Pool's show, and they had a big blowout. I remember, if you guys remember, he started yelling at Tim Pool. He goes, "I'll punch you in the face." And stuff.
Oh, damn.
Holy cow.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh man, yeah, R.A. Rugged Man. Anyone know? Just look him up, man. Anyways, he still follows me. I had to unfollow him because it was just getting too weird. I was just like, there's no way we'd get along if we actually had a
Evo,
conversation.
While you're on that thought, because you brought up somebody that I don't know, you said he's more nuanced. Speaking of this, my next question like hangs off of that. Who's the one artist that you still haven't worked with that you clear your whole calendar for tomorrow, and why? Let's say they hit you up and you'd be like, I don't care what project I'm doing, we're working on this right now. Who's the one person, if you could pick?
Well, now I think you mentioned that I've produced for him, but I haven't. And there's a reason why, because I've remixed his songs for over a decade and he just won't look my way. But Exhibit. Now, I've been remixing his songs.
Yeah, I did bring him up. Yeah.
I've never got to the privilege, but I love his delivery and his raspy voice and everything. And he seems like he's kind of down to earth, but he's really, I don't know, man. I've done 3 of his songs. That last one you saw where it was a remix challenge. So it was Greenback Records, which is owned by, it's some collaboration effort label by, who's the Irish fighter, UFC guy?
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. It's his music label. He's in that video. They offered a challenge under Greenback Records to do a remix of the song. So they offered the acapella and the beats per minute, which is really easy for I mean, you can, if you're a good producer, you can find the BPMs, but they give it to you because it's an actual challenge to the public. The winner will get to do a song with Exhibit, right? Oh, cool. I'm going to just show everyone up because all these new producers are going to come in and think they know his. I'm like, dude, I studied that guy. Trust me, I can do it. And I wish there was a way we could like reference it and then I could go, this is the one I did, but I have to send everyone somewhere else to see it. But I put it up there and I got a movie director guy that's like, he just loves my music. And he goes, I've worked with Exhibit. I've taken pictures of him. He does like shows. He does a photographer too. He has drones and everything. He's worked with all these guys. He has access to all these people. He brings my name up to him, and it just turns into a different topic. I don't know if I'm just like kryptonite to him, but I mean, I don't have like a track record of being a dick or anything. I'm really easy to work with, and I have a good turnaround rate. Like I can get you a song right away. Sometimes I bug Jay, by the way, and I'm sidetracking, but I have stuff for Jay, and I'll just send it to him. I go, "What do you think of this?" And he'll just be like, "Dude, you're the best." And I'll be like, "Okay, now I need to animate it." So then I go to my Aussie guy and I have him do the animation. And sometimes my songs are piling up on his desk, and he's going, "I'm still working on this one for Jim Bob." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't know what to do, but my ideas are just piling up." Anyways, how did I get there? What the hell?
So wait, hold on. Jim Bob and Jay are your filters for music to some degree? That's what I'm hearing. I'm like, okay, let me check to see if I'm not crazy that this is a good beat. Sends it to Jay Dyer. Sends it to Jim Bob.
Well, it's actually, I think it's good sometimes a little ahead of time, and I'll send it to him it won't be mixed at all. And I'll just go, "What do you think of this? The concept of this beat? Like, did you see, we roasted Sam Shamoon. We did the Sam Shamoon song. I
haven't seen that, but now that I'm hearing about that, oh, that's gotta be good.
We got him. Now it's just like a roasting beat label. That's why we called it Cringecore Records. I wanted to kind of separate it. It's cringy on purpose. Some people in the comments go, "I don't like this." I'm like, that's the point. You're not supposed to like it.
It's a roasting song, of course.
Well, it's cringy. It's not supposed to be amazing.
Of course.
So yeah, no, I sent him. We got Sam Shamoon. Who else did we get? We got that Voice of Reason guy. Because he's kind of like, he did the grift and he got caught.
A deep voice guy? You got him too? That's crazy.
Jay did an impression. Jay does an impression of him.
How are you guys doing tonight?
That
Lake City, Utah. It's like, how do you do that, bro? It's so crazy.
We did that. We roasted him too, and we made a whole thing out of it. And all of his fans got in the comments, "Oh, Jay's mean," or whatever they say for him. I'm like, whatever. He got roasted, dude.
Esoteric guy, mean, bad.
Yeah.
So I have to ask another question real quick. So this gets to the nuts and bolts of the craft, exactly what fans and aspiring beat makers are dying to hear. Walk us through a typical day in the life of Dr. Evo from the moment you fire up the studio to when a track is done. What's your go-to process when a legend like Snoop walks into your life and says, "Hey, fire up a beat"?
That's one of the things it's weird, and that's evolved over time, but it's been like, I'll have days where I'm uninspired. I'll probably turn on Call of Duty or something, and then the day will go by and I go, "I didn't make anything today." And then some days I'm just on fire. So, but when I do make something, one of the problems though, and young producers, you said for young producers, don't think that thing's fire because you've heard it on a loop for an hour. Your brain's convinced you that it's good. You got to go take a lunch, come back and hear it again, because sometimes it's pure dog shit. And and the problem with that is I think it's a thing that most producers know. We have like kind of this wink thing. Like you'll see memes about it, like producer memes. Like, the one beat I made at 3 a.m, is amazing. And then you wake up in the morning and hear it again and you're like, "Oh, the fuck, what was I making?"
So sometimes you'll make a beat and then next thing you know, you'll be like, "Oh, that's Sweet Honey Iced Tea," and you change your whole mind and that's it. It's a wrap. That's crazy.
Well, the problem is sometimes I get in my head where I think I'm good enough and I'm like, "Yeah, everyone likes my shit. I'm just going to put a little bow on it and I'll put an intro and an outro, maybe even put it like a little pre-chorus in there to add some change. Take the drums out, put them back in, and go, okay, that's a complete song." And I make sure it's around 3 minutes. 3 minutes, people start getting bored. You don't want to make a song longer than 3 minutes.
It sounds like you can go to a process of overthinking things when it was actually good, and then you overthink it and you ruin it. It sounds so easy to do from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, you can overproduce too. You can add too many things, and they like the song, but there's no room for them, so they can't even think of anything to rap over. So I mean,
so you're making bomb instrumentals where there is no artist needed. Basically, you can get to that point. That's great. There are artists out there that do that. Like they'll make instrumentals and then they just buy the album because the instruments and everything else are the artist on the track. And I can see that. I can see that easily happening. So I have to ask another question real quick. You produced and engineered Cali to Canada with DJ Quick on the mix. How do you and a mixing god like Quick tag team? How does this happen?
Okay, so I actually got it. So that beat, Snoop opened it up and he sent me a video of him playing. I can't even just show it on my phone, huh? But there's a video of him sending me. He goes, "This beat's tight, Evo. I'm gonna get Warren G on it. I'm gonna bring him back. This is for the East Side because they're East Side LBC guys. They go way back, dude. They go back like car seats, dude. And,
that's crazy.
Yeah, he was bringing them back, and it's like, I was like, okay, I guess. Like, what do you need me to do? Like when he likes something, the next thing is, well, what do you want? What do you need from me? So weeks go by, and I know his bodyguard. I make beats for him too, just to kind of like, in case I ever need him to get into a place, I know his bodyguard. So I'll throw him a couple throwaway beats just for fun. And he texted me. He's all, dude, Quick and Warren G are in here doing something crazy with one of your beats. And he showed me a video. I'm like, oh shit, really? Quick's in there? Wait, Quick's gonna get on it? And he's like, no, he's mixing it. And DJ Warren G was in there too, but he's an actual DJ. So he was doing cuts over it. You could see there's a video on this thing. I have it saved, but you could see Warren G doing his, like, he brought him back to the roots. And if you hear the song, they're doing the old school hip hop thing where Snoop will say like 4 bars and then Warren G will say 4 bars and they're passing the mic. It's like the old pass the mic concept. They're not physically doing it, but it sounds that way because they're not doing like a 16-bar verse and then a basic hook and then it's over. Yeah. So they did bring it back to and I had that old school G-Funk sound. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing about that is Quick, I don't really know Quick, but I know Snoop sent that to me and he goes, which version do you like better? And he sent me 2 different versions. I go, I like this one. And the only reason why I liked it better is because Snoop says Dr. Evo, and he says my name really a lot, like you can hear it. He enunciates really good. The second one, he tucked it in the back. You can barely hear Dr. Evo. So he goes, which one do you like better? And then just because of my bias, I go, I like version 1 better. And he goes, we picked version 2. And I go, well, then what'd you ask me for? So all of a sudden, the one that gets released, you can barely hear him say Dr. Evo at the end. But I actually have the version 1. No one else ever has it. I have that one posted. You can hear my name really loud. I forgot what he says, but he says my name, though, pretty loud in it.
That's crazy. I can't even imagine what it's like Snoop saying Cool Vic. So, like, it's just like, I can't imagine what that would be like. Like,
and he just does it. I don't ask him to do that. Some people like you have to pay extra or pay whatever for Snoop to like give you a shout out. It's like he just did it.
That's respect, though. If I think anybody of some status, and I'm not just saying status, but I think if people in his position, because he's been in movies, he's done music, he's even done like sensual seduction. He sang on track. Like, that was crazy when he did that. But it's like you have a guy saying that. This guy's a legend in the industry. It's like you have him say your name. That's crazy. I'm pretty sure, like, from day one, if somebody would have told you Snoop's going to say your name on a track, you probably wouldn't have believed him, right?
Yeah, it's weird because I was talking to my childhood friends that I walked to high school with, and I go, remember we in our Walkman we had what was it? His very first album, Doggy Style. We were just listening to Doggy Style walking to school, and that's the guy. Like, if you told me back then as we're walking, I'm going to produce for him later, that'd be I'd be like, get out of here. What?
Yeah,
doesn't make sense.
That's got to be surreal. So, so what's the back and forth? Like when you hand off a beat, what's the whole process like? Do you just send them somebody a beat through email? How does that work? Or do you just email them and text somebody? How do you get to that point to do that?
I email him. He's changed his email so many times. I had one time where he had this email and he wasn't getting them, and I found out from someone else that he has a different email. So I had to go through his manager to get his new email. And then I felt like, why don't you tell me your new email? Are we not friends anymore? And I had to make it sound like it was a personal thing. But it's Snoop. He's always on the move. He's hanging out with Martha. I mean, like, who am I? So,
Evo. So speaking of which, what gear or secret sauce do you still swear by in 2026 that most new producers have forgotten? Is it still analog warmth, live instruments, or something that nobody's talking about? Do you have like a secret skill or something else that you do? Because even when I did the promo for this podcast on Instagram or wherever else we did, and I did like the AI version of you busting in the background, because I think that's what our like theme is going on right now, Vic. Like that beat is really nice, and when you hear this sounds purely West Coast. You could tell like this is definitely not an East Coast beat. What's the secret to this? What do you use? Like, how do you go about doing that?
You mean what do I do to make it distinguishable for West Coast sound?
For West Coast sound.
Well, so my name, Dr. Evo, became because people said my beat sounded like Dr. Dre, because it wasn't funky yet. It was more half-step progressions. It was heavy snares, 90 BPMs. It was always like this. It was a Dr. Dre piano strikes. I would always hit triads, and I had his formula down. And they're like, "You're like Dr. Evil," or no, "You're like Dr. Dre, but it's more evil sounding," because it was kind of like ominous and like C to the C sharp, and it wasn't doing big major chords. They were like kind of evil sounding. So they came in the studio one day and they were comfortable calling me Dr. Evil. But then my boy from Texas used to come in and go, "Is that Dr. Evo over there?" And he added the CP flavor to it. So it turned into Dr. Evo. So they're like, "Hey, Dr. Evo." And it was like, because he's like Dr. Dre, but more evil and stuff. So
yeah, so that's how Evo came out for the slang part of this, right? That was right, kind of like inevitably. Yeah, so he made it kind of like a slang, and then that stuck, the Evo part, right?
Yeah. And I want to make sure I answered your question the right way. The reason why, so I had like that Dr. Dre influence already. Yeah. So it was already kind of associated with the West Coast. And then DJ Battle Cat was also another guy.
I love Battle Cat. Battle Cat is like the We Can Freak It. Like that was like a legendary beat when I first heard that. Yeah. I don't know. Like even Corrupt was like, "Battle Cat, why you make a beat like that?" Like you heard him on the track when he said, I was like, "Oh!" Like when you hear your name get credit on a track, that's got to feel like electric to some degree. Like I don't even know what that must feel like. But the fact that it sounds West Coast, it's indistinguishable from anything. Like from West Coast, you automatically know the beat you're listening to. This is definitely not like a Nas beat or anything else on the East Coast. Like when you hear this, you can automatically you could just hear the lowriders, the springs, and then you could like smell the taco stand on the street and you're driving and you're like, you know what? We might get shot up. We might not. And I'm just hearing this beat. It just sounds like I'm on the corner of 5th and Crenshaw. Like you could just hear that in the music. And I know that this is West Coast. That's what I was wondering. Like, how do you make this distinctly West Coast? How do you develop that?
I mean, that's actually a really good question. I don't know if I've really looked. I kind of use the same formula, but I don't quantize, if you know what that means. But you know, if you circle in your bubbles, it'll hit a hi-hat on time. Well, I don't like putting my hi-hats on time. There's a little swing to it. My snare doesn't hit on the.
So there's like a good lag. Like you bump your head, but it's like a little lazy lag to it.
Yeah, there's a little like that, and then you add a synthesized bass to it.
That's that 40 ounce. You drink too much, you get a little sluggish, and you just like, oh, okay. I got the brown paper bag on this bitch, and you just like, oh, God, okay. That's that West Coast vibe. I could hear that all throughout. Like I was listening to some of your beats, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely like not KRS-One, not Nas, or any of that other stuff. I would listen to it. I was like, yeah, this is Dickies and Chucks and total West Coast vibe.
Oh, it's what I don't know if you saw that video with the Ewok and stuff. That beat I made over like 13 years ago. That's probably my most crip walking one I've ever made.
Yeah, you brought up Dub C, and I remember he was at a concert, and I was seeing the video. He was like sea walking. I was like, oh, he's trying to commercialize something people died to in mass. That's crazy.
Well, he is. He protects it. Like he doesn't like when other people are doing it. He's like, no, that's not just a little fun dance for TikTok. It actually means something from your neighborhood, and like he's kind of like purist in that way. And it is what it is. But I'm kind of that way with West Coast music. On my algorithm on YouTube, it'll be like, how to make a West Coast beat, and I click on it, already hating the guy, and I just go, you don't know shit about the West Coast. Let me see it. I click on it, and it's like, I mean, it could be any beat, from any coast. There's nothing that makes it stand out that's West Coast. And sometimes I'll have to pull myself back from going, this isn't West Coast. Then I turn into like a chat weirdo or whatever stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of a purist in that way too, as far as West Coast music. I don't know what it is. I pull out the guitar and add guitars to it.
You do add things, and you can overproduce. Maybe you're like on the cusp of that, and you're like, no, it's just right. Like,
yeah,
you do get in projects like that. Okay.
Well, I do little ear candy things. I don't take over with the guitar. I'll just put I'll put a chord, and then I'll just slide it on the fourth beat on the turnaround or something. And it adds just an extra accent to it that makes it sound West Coast. There's little things I do, but
okay, Dr. Evo, this is kind of me being selfish a little bit, because you're telling me things like, you know what, I'm just another guy doing this, and that's how you open up. Now all of a sudden you switched from that to like, yeah, I wanted my name on the track. I didn't want the one where they just kind of said my name. It's like, oh, this is the guy that came out. This is the celebrity. I had the humble Evo at first, but I have to ask a question though, because we're on this tangent right now. So we live in the same state. Is it possible I could be on a fly on the wall and just witness you develop a beat? Because I remember I was listening to Kanye build a beat. I know, weird name to bring up, but I was listening to him. There was like a video of him developing this, and I forgot who the group was, but watching him develop this beat and then like add on to this, it's like story building and listening to this. And then the final product was like, that guy's a genius. Is there any way, maybe I sound like a fan here a little bit, is there any way I could be on the fly on the wall and just be like, bro, can I come over and just watch you build a beat? Could that ever happen? Just curious.
Yeah. It's, I've been doing it for so long. It just feels like, it just feels like it would be like boring. Like, I'm looking for a kick drum, and I'll just be over here clicking on noises till I find a kick drum that I just arbitrarily like. I just assume that would bore people. I don't even stream. Some people stream making beats, and I'm like, that's not really a fun process. But I think I've just been doing it so long. It might be fun for you.
That would be fun, because I'm a fan of music. I'm a fan. Like there's a time, like if I was listening to like I don't know if you listen to 9 Inch Nails, but Reznor is a prodigy to me. And I had conversation with Vic briefly about Trent Reznor. The guy's a prodigy. Like, when there's no way you can replicate his sound. It's distinct. It's not some universal thing that you could just map on anything else. If he goes away, heaven forbid that ever happen, you lose that. That's going away with him. Like, you can't reproduce this industrial sound that they make. And that's what I'm just going to call it that. Me and Vic had a conversation about this, and we're going to agree to say it's an industrial sound. Your beats that you have, I was hearing the beat and I was like, oh, hold on. Before you put ad-libs on here or vocals or anything like that, let me listen to this whole song. It feels like a song. Like your beats eat like a meal, if that makes any sense, before you add anything onto it. It's not something that I think that if you're a purist when it comes to music, beats, things like this, you can listen to that like Battle Cat's We Can Freak It beat, and you're like, nah, I don't need the vocals. Let me listen to this 2 more times before I hear the one with the vocals. You would geek out, like if you're a guy like me or anybody else. I do believe that there's a populace like us that do exist that would love to be flies on the wall and hear you produce a beat. But especially if you do like a time lapse, because I'm pretty sure there are boring parts. But yeah, there's a huge populace out there that loves listening to instrumentals. I mean, I do for sure.
No, I definitely get those DMs, and a lot of it comes from, ironically, from the popping community. So all the pop lockers, and I got a lot of Japanese and Korean and people from that side of the world. They love. I mean, that's who buys my stuff. I have stuff on Bandcamp. I mean, they're always asking for like, can I get another album? I want to use it for my dance class or whatever. Like they use it to show people how to like dance and stuff too. So there is a market for just instrumentals alone. But I know what you mean. It's just sometimes when you add the vocals to it, it goes, okay, now it's a complete song. And it's like, okay, that's why, like if you hear We Could Freak It, he's on the chorus. Battle Cat's doing a triad, but he's doing a chord progression on purpose because he's saying we can freak it, and then right there's the note. So he's doing a chord that's specific to that. So if you didn't hear the vocals and you just heard that, you'd go, that sounds cool. But when you hear the vocals, you go, oh, that's why they're connecting. So
it was like a thumbprint, like it mapped onto it, like it was like a puzzle piece that connected. Like I can hear that. There are other things, like I'm fans of like Just Blaze. There are different kind of producers out there. Just Blaze is a legend, by the way, too. And there are plenty of others that we can talk about, but it's like, it's funny how so many beats go on mixtapes, but you'll never hear them on albums. And you're like, why does this never get on an album? I'm hearing this. This is like through underground mixtape or whatever this is, but it never makes it to an album. And I'm like, this is the best beat I've ever heard. Never makes it to commercial success or anything like that. Is there a lot of this that you see out there when you hear something that's amazing, but nobody ever takes it, signs that person? Do you see this often in the industry?
Yeah, I mean, I have folders of it right now. I have a lot of unreleased stuff with people that you would never think, how did you work with that guy? And it's like, well, we never released it because there's a bunch of legalities that go into it. We need to make sure everything's divvied up right, and there's the business side of it that kind of turns you off to it. And I think when you become like, when you have that zeal in the beginning, you're making beats, you're like, I'm making 10 a day, this is so fun, and you post them, and then when you become part of the industry and you kind of rely on people to kind of, placements are a bit, I don't know if anyone knows what a placement is, but when you finally get a big artist to get on your song, it's called a placement. When you start searching for placements, you kind of lose the excitement to make the song, like, because you're just focused on, you lost the love for the music making part, and you want the adoration from the big guys, the blue checks, and all the guys, like I did a song with so-and-so. Now you have this resume to build. But now I have my bucket list for the most part. So I'm kind of don't really care about placements anymore. And
Evo,
that's how I did the Jay Dyer stuff. It's like, I can, because, in the Orthodox community, they say use your talents, that God gave you, and don't let them go to waste. And I started taking and I go, you know what? I'm going to hang with my ortho bros, and I'm going to clip funny moments and use my West Coast talent to it and make it unnecessarily gangster, by the way. Half of the stuff Jim Bob did, it was like satirical. It's almost over the top, like gangster music, that it's funny that I'm bringing that element to it. But yeah, I'm trying to use I don't want to waste my talents, because I get blackpilled as far as the industry is concerned.
So do you think chasing blue check marks can kind of burn you out a little bit, especially if you are new and you have a lot of zeal to the industry and you're like, oh, I got one, let me see if I can get another. Can it kind of detract away from your passion or the love of the game and your passion in the industry?
I wish I could disclose DMs of fellow producers that have done bigger things than me. And they are like, I'm 2 days away from just quitting this, selling all my equipment. And it's like, dude, you made a song with Eminem. What are you talking about? And they're just like, it's not
that's crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I talk to in the DMs where we would never say it in public, that we kind of have. It's just tongue in cheek stuff. And it's like, there's a weird snaky industry, and people promise stuff that you're gonna. I've had people tell me I got Corrupt in the studio. I got Sugar Free. He's all, I'm gonna do an album with them. Send me over some beats, and he'll have a video of him in the studio at that moment with them. And that's bucket list guys for me, just personally for me. And I go, oh, I fall for it, and I go, here's some beats. I assume the business stuff will happen later. He'll rap to it, and then I never got Corrupt, never got on that song. And it's like, did you trick me to get a beat? Because I sent it to you because you had Corrupt in the studio with you. So and it's like, it's real snaky, kind of weird stuff.
I have a question because this is like, I have a list of questions that I have like a script, but I'm going to go off the script a little bit. You can decline to answer this question if you want to, or try to craft your answer around this, because I know the industry is kind of delicate. So there was something that happened with Daz Dillinger with payment, things like that. Are you at liberty to speak about any of this situation? Because I know you posted a little bit, but I was like, oh, this is kind of like a little industry bad thing that kind of happens sometimes.
I actually, it's funny you bring that up. He made an AI thing of Snoop running away with a bag of money, and like he's stealing money from me, whatever. I don't know what his personal thing is with him. but I wrote Team Snoop in the comments. I was trying to troll, and all of the pro Daz
Evo
guys.
trolling? Let's fucking go.
I was dude before I was Evo. I was bad. Dude. You know who blocked me? E40, the game.
Oh wow.
Wait, of course Chuck Taylor would
E40.
block you. That guy's so sensitive.
He is
Hey,
very
let me
sensitive.
stop because
He's
I don't
very
want to kind of like ruin anything.
Yeah, so he where did I go? You got to keep me on track, man. I'm sidetracked.
So we were talking about the Daz Dillinger thing, and he had a bag of money run away. Yeah.
So I wrote in the comments, Team Snoop. Everyone, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, Dick, you're a dick rider. Oh, you're a whatever in the comments. It was some blue check guy. I didn't know who he was. And it said Mr. Disaster or something. And it turned out that he's like a battle rapper. He's some big battle rapper guy. And ironically, I thought he was going to have
Canada, right? He's from Canada, right?
I don't know. I think he's Arabic or something.
Yeah,
but he's a battle rapper guy.
They had a battle rap thing, and I think they held it in Canada one time, and it was crazy. Cannabis did something back in the day, but it was like, if you think about it, Disaster. I don't know if it's Mr. Disaster. I think he just goes by Disaster, but maybe it's Mr. in social media. Yeah,
that's him. Yeah, he was clapping back at me. He's like, "Oh, you're just a dick rider for Snoop." And I'm like, "I've never had a bad experience with Snoop." So I've actually had an encounter with Daz, and Daz wasn't very favorable for me. So if I had to pick a team, the guy who fucking pays me, the guy I've done 5 songs with, I'm gonna be Team Snoop, just by default. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't have typed that in there, but I was just kind of riling everyone up. But I thought he was gonna give me. He's a battle rapper. You have to come up with good, fast retorts. I thought I smoked them. I thought
Evo
wow.
You know what? You might have some debate roots in you just yet. That's what I'm telling you right now.
I could debate through text because I could go, no, that was stupid, and then rewind it. But if I say something now, I can't take it back.
Yeah, that's true. That's why it takes a lot of pattern, and that's why a lot of what we do in debate, I get better the more debates I do, but I still think that I'm a D-level debater no matter what. Like, I could be up there in the league I just got asked to do World War debate as a contestant or contender, and it's like I could still think that I'm a D-level debater, even though I just destroyed some professor, lawyer, attorney up there or whatever. But I'll always have that mindset, and I think that kind of keeps me humble. But I think you're okay to say things like, Snoop said my name. That's crazy. I'm going to pick the one word my name was heard instead of he kind of said my name. Like, that's just badass, man. I love getting the lore on DJ. And plus, we get the face reveal. Vic, this is crazy. This is a podcast.
Yeah, I know. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead, Evo. You were going to say something?
I was just thinking it because I have Cringecore Records as my YouTube. You guys should give it a follow. That's where all of our meme videos are, all the disses and the Jay stuff.
I'll post in the link after the live. Yeah,
cool.
We'll do that.
Jay collabed with me. I sent him a collab link. You know how you guys can do the collab now with YouTube?
Yeah.
He actually collabed with me, but for some reason, when you go to videos, the collabs are at the very bottom of that thing. It doesn't filter to the top, but anyways, it's kind of cool that Jay accepted a collab. It's kind of like a tip of the cap, like, thank you, sir. You did good work. And he actually even offered me, he's like, what kind of payment do you want? You want crypto or PayPal? And I was like, dude, you're supposed to be mean. What are you paying me for?
So Dr. Evo, I have 3 would you rather questions. So insert the Jeopardy final round music right now. Also, Vic, I forgot to tell you, we have a would you rather round that we're going to do. Dr. Evo, would you rather produce a #1 global pop hit with a mainstream superstar, but have to water down your West Coast G-Funk DNA, or drop an underground classic with legends like Snoop, Cube that never charged, but becomes the soundtrack for real hip-hop heads for the next 20 years?
Yeah, that one, because I've already done that. And I kind of take pride in that because I made a post saying I don't make Grammy Award winning music. It's mostly like gritty, hardcore kind of stuff like that. So I know what you mean. It would be cool to kind of like be at like Walmart or something or whatever, and you hear your song, you're like, I produced that. Isn't that cool? But they're not going to play the Snoop shit I make over here, So I understand that side of it. It would be cool. I think ultimately what I want to do, I was just supposed to be rapid fire. I'm going to ramble here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ultimately,
you're the special guest. This is all you, Evo. Go ahead.
Ramble on.
This is my first time, dude. You guys are breaking me in. I don't know if I'm whatever. But
Nice.
So you're good. You're doing
yeah,
better
you're
than a
good.
lot of guests that we've had already.
Yeah.
Well, I actually like movie score. I like scoring. I like to score like cues in movies and go like I like the. If you ever watch a scary movie on mute, it's not scary. It's the audio is doing most of the heavy lifting. So I've always loved like John Williams, Hans Zimmer. Things
Hans
like
Zimmer's
that.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's great. And I bought a bunch of orchestra sounds and we actually did one, me and Ozzy did. I think it's still on our thing. He did an AI, it's a movie trailer. It's like a medieval times, and I kind of scored it myself. So you could see me trying to dabble in that. But that's my ultimate goal. So when you said, would you do it with like a mainstream and kind of get the big fame? I think that ultimately my end goal would be to score movies. That'd be kind of cool to do that because I want to evolve out of this gangster life. Like I'm getting too old for all this.
Well,
crazy-
speaking of evolving out of gangster life, Vic, I actually have a would you rather question for you that involves Dr. Evo. I know this is kind of out of left field, but I'm just curious to see who's the worst. Would you rather be trapped in a room 24 hours with Dr. Evo's beats playing and have to debate Minar, or be in another room with First Amender with his beats playing, having to debate him for 24 hours straight? Which one is worse?
Wow.
Dang, Minar versus First Amender.
Yeah, you got to gun to your head. You got to pick one room to debate for 24 hours straight with Dr. Evo's music playing in the background.
Well, at least the music would make it much more tolerable either way. But I honestly would probably have to say Minar, to be honest.
Okay.
I would go with Minar.
The room without the rat uterus book. You'd rather pick that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, room without no rat uteruses. You know?
No rat uterus book. Okay.
You know, at least I could laugh at a guy spurging out like Menard does. You know,
You know what?
that's
That
at
is
least
pretty
some
entertaining. That's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Evo, I got one question for you. This is the next would you rather. Would you rather work with a young TikTok rapper who pays triple, goes viral overnight, but you gotta swallow a bunch of industry woke talking points in the lyrics, or keep cooking exclusively heat for only OGs like Ice Cube, Cocaine, that pays less, but lets you sleep like a king? This is the obvious one. Of course, I'm gonna throw you some obvious gimmies.
Yeah, I'm just gonna yeah, I'm not gonna sell out. Is that what it says? You pretty much would you sell out or not?
Sell out. Yeah, would you sell out or not? Okay. Would you rather have every beat you make sampled by 100 new artists giving you publishing forever, but never get your own producer tag on a major release, or have one monster single with Snoop that puts your name in lights, but then the industry tries to bury you for the next 5 years?
What was the first one?
I know this is kind of like a lengthy. Would you? All right. Would you rather have every beat you make, Dr. Evil, sampled by 100 new artists that give you publishing forever, but you never own your producer tag on a major release, or have one monster hit from Snoop that puts your name in lights one time, but then the industry tries to bury you for the next 5 years?
Well, I'm actually more interested in how you even know what publishing is and stuff. Like, I feel like we're already like, you know, how do you even know all that stuff? Because maybe even your chat's like, what the hell is publishing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe you can kind of inform them and talk about them, because I had to curate these questions and try to find one that's compelling enough. Can you tell the chat what publishing is?
So you have two separate royalties. You have your writers, your songwriters royalties, and you have your publishing royalties, and those are paid out differently depending on, you know, where they're played. So like Spotify will pay you, by the way, they pay dog shit. They pay like 0.004 cents per stream. So like you would have to make, I mean, you can't even go platinum anymore. It used to be per album.
Shit ton of streams. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's separate royalties. You get them quarterly, but publishing, like for example, publishing with Mount Cushmore, which is kind of cool to say, but they have such a big body of work. It's not that significant. But like Mount Cushmore, I own 50% of that song, and there's 4 guys on it. You got all the legends, right? You got Method Man, Redman, Be Real, and Snoop. They'd have to divide their 50% pie separately than me. So they don't touch my 50%. They split their 50. So it's I think it's like 12.5%.
Oh, so you got a chunk.
Yeah, I own the majority of that song.
Damn, Evo.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about publishing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the cool
nice.
thing about the hardline industry standard of that. At least they keep that stuff in check so that people can't just bogart your half or whatever. But the funny thing is there's publishers that'll come and try to buy the rights to your stuff. So I had this guy reach out and he goes, "Hey, would you like to set up a meeting? I'd like to buy you publishing to your." So he would buy out my percentage and just leave me with like 10%, and he would own 40 of it. And he had nothing to do with the song, but he just gets his name on it. So then he tries to push it and get it into movies. So it gets some sort of licensing fees and stuff like that. But he owns 40% of the pie.
So that's just footwork. He's basically paying you to do the footwork so you can get more exposure.
Yeah, and he could sit there, and he's a publisher, so he can go, I got Wiz Khalifa, and I got all these big names. Look at what all these people I own. It's like, it's kind of this weird, like hawkish industry, and it's like, it gets kind of weird. The offers, some of the things is like, there's also pub deals. You can get publishing deals where you can get $1 million. You sign for $1 million, but they own you now, and the contract will be up to like 2 to 3 albums. You owe us 2 to 3 albums worth of music. And there's stipulations where you can't, make music for other people and things like that.
So talk a little bit about this, because this is like the selling. It sounds like the whole selling your soul type of thing, even if it isn't like some esoteric rambling that we're talking about, just kind of like hypothetically, like as a person, because I know that there's a guy named, what's his name, Vic, the Khabibi guy that literally sold himself. Like he can't have his image anywhere. He's the guy that like when somebody dropped their keys on a bucket, they take like this big tool and this big extraction thing to get their keys, and he pulls it out and he goes like this. The African guy.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I forgot his name, but I know what you're talking
Khabib or
about.
something like that. Like that's the thing though, is like he sold his whole identity and name, and it's like his identity doesn't even belong to him anymore. But the guy's like got $1 billion or something like that for this. Like is publishing kind of like this to where they own you. The likeness would be your music, your sound, your available time working with other people. Would it be kind of like that too?
Yeah, because there's so many separate fees that happen, especially during a studio session. You could be hiring pro bono guys. You could be getting the work for hire guys. I could hire a guitarist to come in, and he doesn't own shit for the song. He gets his name to be on as a songwriter, but you pay him a flat rate. So he can't sit there and brag like he could tell everyone I did the guitars on that song, but it's like, it just barely say your name, but he's not getting any quarterly royalties for it because he was already paid outright flat rate. So there's different ways to manipulate musicians. And when it comes to like publishing, yeah, they can, like that guy, he can just give me 10%. So I just only own 10% of that song. Like, so the Warren G song with the Cali to Canada one, that got paid in the Olympics, both Olympics. The NBC, I got checks from NBC from them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Snoop, they played it in the background while he's doing the breakdown, because the Snoop was doing and check this guy out skiing down the slopes, and you hear my beat in the back. Just for them using that, they licensed it to me. But because I found out through his manager, Frank, shout out to Frankie if you ever see this, but he told me, he said, the reason why we picked your song mostly, it's not because it's amazing or anything. It's because I don't use samples. So they don't have to clear any other publishing with any other people that I don't sample. I got drums. I use everything normal. So it's just all the permission you need is from me. So it's one email. So NBC goes, hey, do we have permission to use it? I go, yep, send. And then I have to invoice them and shit like that. But the cool thing that he admitted, though, because there's no publish, we're not beholden to all these other people that you're sampling from, since you don't sample.
Yeah.
They like me for that reason too. I mean, not only just the sound, but publishing gets in the way of a lot of stuff, dude.
That can kind of sour your taste in the industry a little bit and take away some of the passion.
Yeah, that's why I was intrigued by your question, because you said give up all your publishing, and I was like, how would he know if they sampled my shit? They would need my permission to use it. So I thought that was kind of funny. You knew the lingo, the shop talk.
Yeah. So I have another question real quick. Growing up in Orange County and influences born and raised in OC during the late 80s, early 90s funk, G-funk era, what drew you to production?
I didn't produce till 2005. So I never thought I would. I just listened to the music. I never even envisioned myself as making music that way. High school, and I was in a high school band. So I played the bass there, and I borrowed all my brother's shit. And I played the Whiskey. I played in LA. We
Yeah.
played a lot of shows in the LBC.
What were
Long Beach.
your inspirations growing up? Did you have any inspirations to get into music kind of to some degree?
I was into heavy stuff, man. I like Pantera and Sepultura and
There you go.
Metallica and things like that. Yeah, I like mosh. We had mosh parties. We used to just throw elbows at our friends.
Hey, Dr.
Slayer.
Evil was actually evil?
Yeah.
Throwing elbows and shit.
Well, you know, it's funny. You know, what's funny is I got I don't know if are we allowed to say it? I don't know if you can see. I got bitches ain't shit tattooed on my.
You can say that.
Yeah,
the
you can say
TOS is
that, yeah.
asterisk. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
In
I
some
showed Snoop
future,
that he was laughing at me because that's one of his songs. Bitches ain't shit.
in the future, in
got
some
that before.
administration, we'll probably have TOS that strict. Maybe we'll get like another demo. Anyways, I don't want to get too political here, but yeah, that's crazy having that on your arm like that.
Yeah, it's a good conversation piece for when you meet a new lady and they want.
That's crazy.
Oh, my dad will love that.
She's probably seen the worst. That's a nice beat. I've seen bitches ain't shit on your arm. It's like that's the equilibrium that you're talking about.
Her mom's like feeding me like meatballs. Oh, bitches ain't shit. That's nice. Anyway, would you like some sauce?
Damn, bro.
The Italian came out there.
So working with legends like Ice Cube, and I keep bringing these names up like Redman, Method Man, Be Real. These collaborations, are there any funny studio moments that have happened, like challenges working with East Coast and West Coast styles?
Oh man, I wasn't ready for that one.
I know we keep you woke on the podcast, I guess, in a good way.
Funny challenges. I can morph it into a funny. Do you remember Eazy-E, Real Motherfucking G's?
Yeah.
Song?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Remember he goes, "It's the knockout definition, original baby gangster." That guy that says that, his name's Knockout, BG Knockout. He reached out to me for a beat. I told him, "Hey man, can you reach out to my manager? He's got them all in the vault right now, and we can definitely work on some stuff." I looked again, unfollowed me.
Damn, that's
What?
crazy. What?
Like, wait, what? I mean, I thought it was cool because you're that guy from the Eazy-E song. It would be cool just like a feather in the cap, accomplishment. Not like anyone would, know anything about it, but I thought that would be cool. I wasn't trying to be a dick. Maybe I was busy or something, but
That's crazy.
I just sent him to my management, and my management, by the way, dude, my manager, his name's Jazzy. He was the replace. Suge Knight ran over. You remember the guy who Suge Knight ran a guy over? He backed over him with a car.
Yeah, I remember seeing the video. The video was crazy.
He went to jail for that. The guy he ran over he killed him. He was the manager for the East Siders. That manager, he's dead. The new manager was Jazzy. Jazzy comes in and he manages the East Siders, takes his place. I'm like, wait, so would Suge Knight hate you too, or is that like a personal thing? So now Jazzy's my manager, and you're the manager of the guy who got killed, the replacement of the guy that Suge killed. And I signed a deal with Death Row Records, by the way.
No conflict of interest. This is like Inception versus.
This is getting weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the 20 degrees of the Kevin Bacon thing. Like, I know like Suge Knight's not my dad or anything, but I'm like, what is this weird connection to Suge and Death Row? And it's cool. I got sign my name next to it. Not many people get to say that in their lifetime, but I'm not part of those. I'm not part of that shit. I'm just the music guy. Like,
So what was it like working with, did you work with Cypress Hill like in person in the studio?
No, Be Real's weird, man. I respect him. I think his flow is getting even better as he gets older, which is weird. He's really more on the beat than he used to be.
Damn, usually Alzheimer's starts kicking in and we just lose our touch, but you're saying he's going the opposite way?
Oh shit, that's right. That reminds me, I gotta tell you a Slip Capone story too. You asking?
Oh, we gotta hear this.
Keep me on track, man. I go all over the place.
Oh no, I like it when you go off track. Remember, you like the delayed beat sometimes. You like to have to. No, we're keeping you on track. All right, it's good to have a delay. You're good. Go ahead.
No, Be Real did I never got to meet him, but I sent him a message. I go, hey man, I just got your vocals for the Mount Cushmore. This is 2017. I just got your vocals, and he gave me emoji knuckles, and I went, really? You're not going to follow me back? Like I produced the thing. So years later, 2024, I'm working on Shadow's album. Like I said, I did 9 songs for him. If you guys want to check it out, it's Mr. Shadow.
Yeah.
I'm done and bring it back. That's the name of the album. I did nine of those things out of 14. So I did the majority of that album. Anyways, we did one with Be Real on there. So this would be my second time working with him. We sent him 4 beats. I screenshotted it because it was cool. I still get geeked out when cool things happen. I'm not like, too cool for school or anything, but we sent him 4 beats. He sent me the Mr. Shadow and Be Real are talking to each other. And he goes, I don't know which one to pick. These are all good beats. I don't know which one to pick. And ultimately he picked, I had one that was like super heavy on the guitar. And it was really like, I thought he'd like that one, but he picked a different one. It has more of like a sitar sound. It's like a mid-Eastern sound. That's the one he ended up picking. That song is called I Can't Deny It. So it's Shadow and Be Real together. That one, I send him another, I did another message to him. I said, hey man, good choice. Because I already know the inside scoop that he liked all the beats. He didn't say, they all suck. I'll do that one. He wasn't like lukewarm on any of this shit. He loved all the songs, which is also another tip of the cap compliment.
Damn.
He'll definitely follow me now. We're gonna be best buds. Nothing. Another like cool man. Like just mildly interested. And it's like
Maybe he was busy. I mean, because the sitar makes me feel like, curry, ramen scent, it's like Indian, sandal slapping, I don't know, but it's like maybe he was overlooking the follow button or something like that, or busy or in traffic. I don't know.
I try to do that. I try to tell myself it's not about you. Sometimes, you try to make everything that's real personal. Like, oh, he didn't do that because he doesn't like me personally. He doesn't know anything about me. I'm sure if I sat and talked, the cool thing is he's doing a podcast with the guitar player from the Deftones, and I love the Deftones.
Damn!
I would totally connect with those guys.
Nice.
If I sat with them and talked music, and we would be going crazy. But I don't want to inject myself into people's circles because they're real, protective over that. They're like, who is this weird guy, And that's kind of the reason why I don't really show my face, because I'm like, I don't want to come off like braggadocious and stuff. But I did let you down before, and I was like, I want to make sure I get this done, and then maybe this might break the seal. I might start going live or just making videos and how to and stuff. And I'm not a good teacher, but I was thinking of kind of breaking out of my shell. Maybe
I think you can be a good teacher because you're a really good storyteller, and not to mention this, but I don't need to push you. That's what I love about this. Like there are guests that we've had on Woke Podcast, on our Woke Podcast. I was going to say on Woke Autopsy, where I literally have to lead them the whole time. I'm not going to say who, because I like to be respectful of all the guests, but with you, I can literally listen to you talk about the industry, and it's like, oh, I'm geeking out a little bit over here because I'm hearing like, and this is the thing though, with the face reveal and everything, I get to know the person behind these beats. Like, it's not just the beat. Now it's more like, oh, this guy's down to earth. Now I'm a new fan. Before I was like a fan, but now I'm a new fan. This is like, now I can attach the face of the music, and I'm like, oh, not only is your music relatable, it hits home now, because it's like before I heard the beat and I'm seeing like the elotes on the corner. I can smell the burritos cooking. I'm on Crenshaw with the Chucks and stuff. Now it's like, oh, this guy's down to earth. Oh, this guy's like some guy I could bump into Walmart next to the Martha Stewart section, and he's just down to earth. And it's like, I think being relatable on this podcast is even better. Not only this, but you're not pushing people away because, you're the man behind this. Like the same thing with being a bodybuilder. It's like people want to know who the man behind the muscle is. Just like Vic announcing, he's like, well, the next round we have on this wrestler coming up and this and that, these are the stats coming up, whatever he did in the past. I'm just assuming right now. It's like people would like to get to know Vic a little bit more. Maybe he's a traditional guy. They have traditional beliefs and things like that too. And they can map this onto their lives. I think that not only are you more relatable because of this, but it's like, this is also good lore behind the person, behind the beats and all that. This is all good to know. This is a very fun podcast so far.
Yeah.
You called it. You said it was going to be a banger. So
it is. I mean, this is me and my lack of humility saying this right now. But you've produced for underground people, and I have a list right here. Mr. Shadow, Twisted and Chain, Great and Square on albums like Omniverse Type 3, Compton Scattering, and even newer satirical viral stuff that we went over. Jay Dyer, like We Was Kangs, Why Are You So Gay, Shame, things like this. How do you balance big name credits with fun, meme adjacent, or independent projects that you worked on? And how do you pick collaborators now that you work with?
Yeah, it's the J takeoff was he had a caller call in and it was, I don't know if you guys heard the Pentecostal song. You ever heard?
I haven't heard the Pentecostal. Somebody in my chat
yeah.
mentioned it, but I haven't heard the Pentecostal.
That's one of the crowd favorites as far as in the Dyer sphere over there. But it's before he starts his show. You know, he does his little montage of songs. But Pentecostal was funny because it was a caller. She called in and she's like, I was born in Romania and in a Christian family. I was a Pentecostal. And Jay wrote in the live, and he wasn't being a dick. He just wrote in the chat. Sometimes he'll chat while the live's going on, and he wrote Pentecostal. They spelt it panty. She was trying to say Pentecostal. So he wrote panty, and I saw that, and I went, that was funny how she said that. So I went back, and I clipped that, and I turned it into the song. By the way, I don't think that's a copyright. If you ever want to do that one, but
I got here. We might. Vic,
it was one of the chicks that called in, dude. It was so funny, and I turned it in. I put some hip hop, and then I had Jay. Jay was on that same episode. He was covering mega churches on that same episode, and he was talking about how all these crazy what are those guys? The evangelical, like they have the mansions and mansion parties and things like that. So I combined both into that song. That's one of the big ones that that's my wife's favorite song. She likes that better than my Ice Cube song. So
wait, hold on. I definitely got to hear this. If your wife, oh, that's a nice beat, honey. Oh, this is the one she's like over the moon for, like the Jay Dyer Pentecost. We got to play that, Vic.
Yeah,
we're gonna roll this out right now. This is it. We got to play a Pentecostal. I have no choice but to do it now, especially if the wife is over the moon about this. All right, we're gonna play a little bit about this because I haven't heard this. Vic hasn't heard this. You haven't heard this, right?
No, I haven't heard it.
Okay, more exposure for our new audience out here. Let's begin with the Pentecostal.
I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal. I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal.
Damn.
That's a damn church right there. That's time for the church, son. We about to have an eyes wide shut church party in the basement. That's what they call an after party. Y'all ever heard of the after party? You know what I'm saying?
I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal.
This is
I
crazy,
was born in
bro.
Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal.
Oh.
Pentecostal.
I put my key in the ignition. I'm fresh out the kitchen. I put my key in the ignition. I'm fresh out the kitchen. Sipping on poking wrong. I'm like, so what, I'm drunk. It's a freaky
Bro.
weekend, baby. We about to have some church.
I was born in Romania in a Christian family. Pentecostal.
That's crazy,
That's
bro.
good stuff.
This is
That's
insane.
great. Yeah,
that was great.
that's really good.
That was my
I like
that was my breakthrough Jay Dyer one. He went, okay, you're my guy now.
That's a banger. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
but
that is.
the ad libs with Jay Dyer.
Yeah.
This was a church. That's great. You know why it's so hilarious? I grew up in one of those churches. I grew up in a Baptist church. Thank you, Jesus. The Lord have mercy. And then they laid hands on it. Oh, the sick is welcoming in here. We just go, thank you, Jesus. And what happened is I lined up and the guy, like I saw everybody pass out. And the pastor put his head on my finger on my head and went like this. And I was standing there like, oh, I'm supposed to like fall back, and I'm like real time, and then he pushes it back, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm not even acting good. Like, right, like I grew up in one of those churches, and that was a really embarrassing moment for me, by the way, because I didn't fall back. I was like, is it supposed to happen, or do I have to do what they just did? Like, and I was so confused growing up in one of these churches. It was crazy. So when I see that, I laugh because it brings back memories of like how crazy that was.
Yeah, that's Slow Boy. His Slow Boy whiteboard. That's his one of his moderators, and it's actually a girl. She did a great job with that video, putting all that together.
Wait, a girl is named Slow Boy?
Yeah, if you ever see Slow Boy whiteboard, she's one of his main mods over there in his chat. But she did a great job.
That threw me off because Slow Boy identifies as a girl. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a play on, Jay always pulls out the whiteboard for the slow boys.
Oh, yeah.
He draws the circle and goes,
Yeah,
"See
but
how you're
the
making
fact
a
that
circle,
the
you
gender
argument?"
switches there is crazy, though.
Yeah, I mean, I thought when you hear boy, you think, but I think that the screen name came first and then the gender came later. I don't know.
This sounds too woke for woke autopsy. I would tell you.
Hey, there's a reveal right there. You never knew that.
Oh man, we got the gender reveal.
Another reveal.
Reveal at the same time on woke autopsy. That song was a banger. From G-funk roots to modern slap pop lock instrumentals. How has your style changed over the years? Did you have like a set style, or were you always West Coast hip hop beat?
It's always been West Coast. There was I overheard someone in a podcast talking about that's all that motherfucker makes is West Coast. He won't do nothing else but West Coast. They were talking about me in a podcast. I guess he overheard me saying I don't like other genres. I mean, it doesn't move me. So I've always been an instrumental guy.
Yeah.
Like I'll listen to like E40 or whatever as a kid, and I always liked the beat first, and then I'll listen to what you're saying. But there's other people that will dissect. Oh, he did a double entendre there. He meant this and that at the same time. And I'm like, I don't even listen to what he said. I like the way the bass was, in the right frequency. He put on a high pass filter and all this. And then I get into nerd brain. And you
sound like you're talking like a prodigy now. You're like, when I heard this, it resonated at 502 hertz, and it's like the molecular structure of the atmosphere changed, and the room temperature went down just a skosh. I'm just like, oh man, this is Rain Man in music talking right here. That's crazy. Like,
what you just said right there? You just called my name was Rain Man before Dr. Evo.
Wait, what? Did I just say something that I didn't know that I just hit on? That's crazy.
Yeah. You just reminded me. My name was Rain Man, and I used to do skits. I used to have a group of 8 guys.
No, I didn't even know that. That just randomly came out. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, that's ironic that you said that because they called me Rain Man because I figured shit out. I learned Morse code in 2 weeks. My uncle at that time, they called him the Hummingbird, and he was in the Cold War, I think, or what? I forgot what war he was in, but he was using the Morse code, the dots and the dashes. So he'd be in his little radio room and he'd go like that. And I go, what is that? And he's like, no, I'm saying it. And he would sit there and transcribe all the sounds from Morse code. And I thought that was cool. This is before music. So I learned it. I went to juvenile hall. I was a dumb kid. And I was writing to him in Morse code, dots and dashes. And he was teaching me to translate because he wanted me to take my test. I forgot what the test was called. But I was translating it. Dude, the guards over there in the jail were saying, hey, this is contraband. We don't know. Are you planning an escape or something? I'm like, no, this is fucking Morse code. My uncle's just trying to teach me.
Crazy. You know what's funny? Because I could like do a screen capture of this, but when you were doing this, like that's literally what I see like DJs do. They hit this arm right here, and then they're like, yeah, that's what it looked like you were doing. I was like, was this like a physical Freudian slip that you were doing right now?
Yeah. No, this oh, you can't see. I have another camera over here where it's called a piano cam. I have my faders over here. But yeah, that was just funny. I just doing that. No big deal.
Yeah, I'm like you were doing the DJ thing right now. You didn't probably even know that. It's just like second.
Let's edit that out in case someone does some AI stuff.
Oh man, I don't even want to know what they would do.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, let's
don't give anyone ideas. Yeah.
I had to do the Men in Black thing and flash my whole chat.
Right.
Yeah. What faders?
Flash. Hey, chat, look into this real quick. There's a flash real quick. You didn't see that happen, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just funny. It's funny you brought that up, Rain Man. As they called me Rain. Dude, we used to do skits before the song. Skits in an album. Do you remember the old albums? They would have a skit in between songs.
Yeah,
now you
Redman was
forward
famous for that. Redman, Snoop Dogg had that on the Dog Pound album. Even on Dog Food, he had that. And hip hop's had like a lot of skits. Even in regular music, like R&B had skits, and then other albums did. I'm pretty sure country probably had skits. Rock, I don't know if a lot of rock albums had skits, but yeah, that was a thing. It was really entertaining as well too.
I had a plethora of. Anyone ever use that word yet on your show? I had a plethora of of sound effects.
Well, even if they didn't, you're breaking it in.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot of first. Yeah. There's a lot of first black, whatever. Anyways, I had like rain, the sound of rain. I had a car door sound, and I think the sound effect came first. But I was like, hey, I got this rain sound effect. Let's do something before this song. We're in the rain. I'm trying to come up with a skit. Let's do it. We're in the rain. And we're getting out of the car because I have a fucking car door that slams, so we have to use that. And then I was like, let's get on the mic. We had 2 mics, and I was like, we're gonna get in an argument. We're in the rain, and then we're gonna have gunshots. I have a gunshot sound, and there was like this stupid thing. So they were, yeah. So back then you can hear him.
This sounds like
going, "Hey, Rain Man."
ASMR. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like my life is in jeopardy, but this is normal ASMR. I need to feel right at home with the gunshots and shit. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so it's sirens and stuff. And the reason why I bring that up is because in those skits, if you ever find, I don't know where I'd find them. It's on a real old computer. But
wait, you got skits?
Well, I used to do skits. I was really good at doing skits on top of doing music. So what I would do is the reason why I bring it up though is because they would go, "Hey, Rain Man, what are we gonna do about all these dead bodies in our car?" Or something like it was something stupid. But you can hear him calling me Rain Man at that time, so that'd be funny to kind of like prove. That'd be my receipt that they used to call me that. So,
no, that would be cool.
Version.
I remember in Eminem's first album, he had like a lot of skits on that one too. Remember that? Yeah, his first one, and it was like Brain Damage was one of the song, and a lot of that. That's the Eminem that I love. Like when he first came out with that, I was like, this white boy is killing it. Like it was new to like, wow, white men can not only jump, but they can rap too, kind of era when I got into this. And I'm hearing like some of these skits, and I'm like, it sounded like a movie of this guy who just wanted to off his whole lineage. And it was at the same time, but it was like a refresher before you got to the next psychotic story that he was going to tell over a beat. And it was just crazy. But yeah, I think storytelling has always been involved in like the music industry. But what you do is put ASMR to the background of these stories, which I mean, I'm just saying that right now. Yeah. Really interesting to get to know you, but you've been linked to Orthodox Christian circles in recent contexts, like panels and collabs. So if it fits the vibe, does your faith influence your music as a producer, or is your faith involved in any of this stuff?
I think sometimes my faith kind of reminds me, don't go too degen, you know, like it kind of keeps me in check. It's like we don't want to get too degen. Yeah, let's not get too degen. I think it kind of keeps me on track. But sometimes I do, because I have my deacons follow me on Instagram, and my Attila and all the other guys and all my church buddies. So it's like I got to remember, don't go full black pill and start F-bombing the industry, and just like try to be even keeled, try a little stoicism and keep myself in check, and remember the eyes on the prize is Christ.
Wait, I got a question. If you only make beats, how could a beat be too degen?
Well, because I have to shop the beats to a rapper, and if the rapper's like, I need a song about booties and whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
Make It Clap. You can't do Make It Clap Part 3, but you're gonna do We Was Kangs Part 2. That's crazy. Like, you know what? That's fine. I'll accept it. It's fine.
Yeah, We Was Kangs was that was. I know what you're saying. I might have to
hit you up. You know what? We may need one for We Is Coons. I might need that. I'm gonna have to hit you up, bro, for that for my news network coming up pretty soon. We Is Coons. I'll hit you up after the show about the Trash Panda News Network. Update you on all that. But back to this.
What that song's gonna be about.
I'll fill you in. It's a lot of you're talking to White Marte and all this other stuff. I'll fill you in the ad libs. But this is the thing, though. So with all this happening right now, does this fit your life as far as your influences with music? Do you blend this in with your regular life, or do you keep like the industry separate from your life?
Oh, it's definitely separate. Yeah,
Okay. How do you separate the two? Like, do you say, I need to have designated time to be in the studio cooking up beats and all this other stuff, and then you separate your time? Because I heard you saying, well, I'll play Call of Duty and then something will come to me. But isn't that kind of like an overlap? Do sometimes, like when you're doing something, do things just come to you, or do you force it to happen because you got deadlines? Because you talked about deadlines. How does the creative process work for you? And then like the separation between family, how do you make all this work?
It's funny because me and the wife, our kids are, what is it called when the kids are growing up and they're out? What is that called?
Empty nester.
Empty nesters. We're empty nesters.
Yeah.
So we do get caught up in the couch surfing and just kind of watching. We'll watch Crucible and all the guy, and when there's a debate, Jim Bob, he's been going crazy with the evolution stuff. We like watching that. Yeah. My wife's super based. She's like, anytime Rachel comes on to set someone straight, she gets the popcorn.
Mega based.
Just glued to the TV. She loves that.
You know what, Dr. Evil,
book, by the way.
So cool, Vic. You ever seen the meme with Jim McMahon where it's like he has a plain face and then they show the next reel and he's like this, and then the next one, his face is red? It was like when Dr. Evil was talking, it was like Jim McMahon's red. By the time he mentions her, she's like, Jim McMahon face. Like, I have a feeling like it's like I feel like I wish I would have popped that meme up right now at that moment, because we have a wrestling. What were you doing, Vic? You were like in a promoter. Right. So
I was pretty much the Vince McMahon of my own promotion. Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been perfect for this meme, but of course I'm taking a big L because I didn't have any of that prepared. But anyways, back to this. Like, that's cool that your wife sounds really based and she's into Rachel Wilson, people like that in the industry. I do have a question. Have you seen I'm a very humble guy, I swear to God, I'm pretty humble. Have you ever seen any of my debates or Vic's debates? Or
I watched you. There was something I know. I've even seen Vic break down a debate before.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I've seen both you guys. I watched the one where you said you kind of admitted that you were a little unhinged, and I went, okay, now I got to see that.
Oh man, you're gonna watch me take an L? I consider that an L.
An L. You were probably, I don't know if you just had coffee that night or something, but yeah.
I was pissed. It was a lot of personal stuff going on. I never get that.
Oh yeah.
I never get triggered, but that night I got triggered, and I didn't care at that point. So
that was the Dusty dude, right?
Oh my goodness. You had to say his name.
Oh yeah.
It's like Beetlejuice's name. Anyways, I don't want to. Yeah, we get it. All right. Try to avoid
you did ask though, you know what I mean?
I did. Damn it. That's like 2 L's in one podcast already. Yeah. Oh man. Or you know what? That's what's going to keep me humble. See, I told you I was humble. This is me. Like, I don't have a wife at the moment, so my wife is the L's that I take right now. That's what keeps me balanced.
Here, let me fix it. Here's an olive branch. I heard you when you were he doesn't like
clean it up, right? Sweep it up right now. Let's go clean up this mess we just made. Let's go ahead.
Look, dude, I think you were prepping a debate for Destiny, and I went, wait a minute, that's Destiny's supposed to be, you know, Andrew put them up here as far as debate skills, and I thought you were working your way up through the ranks. I went, wait, is Marte ready for that level? And I'm like, he must be a fucking badass, dude. I got to pay attention to him. The fact that you had the confidence, though, the chutzpah, as those people would say, as the small hats would say, dude, the fact that you were, going to go up against them, I went, I like the cut of your jib. Go ahead and Google that if you don't know what that means.
I don't know. It sounds kind of, if I didn't know any better, if somebody said that, they'd be like, oh, that's so degen the way that sounds. But if I'll look it up and it'll be the most PG-13 thing, probably. I'm just going to say, oh, so degen. Don't say the TOS is broken because cut of the jib was mentioned.
Yeah, no, it's an old sailor thing. I think it has something to do with the way, right? You heard it before?
I bet one of our guests probably heard that before, that the deadliest catch guy that we had on.
I think it's how pirates would compliment the other guy's ship. I like the cut of your jib or something, the way that your boats.
Okay, you're making it sound more degen the more you talk about it. Pirates telling each other they like.
That's your filters doing that. No, that was me trying to give you a compliment. because I was like, "Is you ready for?" And then you did the word.
So I'm turning it into DJ stuff. Even worse. All right, that's 3
I
L's.
used to be
Let's
good at
try to
backpedaling.
keep
I don't know if I'm good at it anymore.
My L counter is like going off the Richter scale.
No, dude.
All right, yeah, I did. I did thoroughly enjoy debating against Destiny because it did show me like the barometer of like the limits that I push as far as like doing a debate and then competing against and I even talked to Andrew Wilson before this debate and I said, okay, I'm going up against Destiny. What do you think? And this and that. He messaged me back and said, do you know Destiny? I believe he's an S tier debater. And I was like, Destiny's S tier?
Right.
Well, how am I going to tell Andrew Wilson what's not an S tier debater? It's Andrew Wilson, who's the Michael Jordan of debate, telling me what's S tier. Of course, I'm going to listen to it. I'm not going to doubt him. And I'm just like, damn it. And you're going to tell me right beforehand, like he's the one punch man of the liberal universe. Is that what you're going to tell me? Like, yeah. But I went in and it ended up being a pretty good debate. And one of my mods ended up telling me it was a narrow loss. I guess I'll take it, whatever.
Yeah,
but
that's,
yeah, it's whatever. It's all good. I'll go in there and do a slugfest with him again.
It's like Mayweather. He wins, but did he really win? Like he just, he dodged a lot of punches. He won defensively.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah. He never answered what was it. He never definitionally like answered my question what insurrection was, and he avoided that the whole time. But I think we just danced around the bush, and he spurred. I got him to spurg a little bit, and to me, that's like a W for me. But yeah, this is crazy. So when you think about this, living between Phoenix, Arizona, working for brands like the San Antonio Spurs. What advice would you give producers out there?
Try to get your stuff synced. You want to get your stuff synced and licensed to movies and commercials and stuff like that. There's a lot more longevity in that. Like it's cool to go after placements, but a few $1,000s as an advance doesn't keep the lights on. And if it does, it keeps it on for, just so you're going to have to build up a huge library of publishing and writers royalties and stuff in order to live off of it. So I don't have that type of library. I do have a cool hits here and there. But I think the lucrative thing is to get stuff played on Netflix. To have Netflix shows pick up your music and stuff like that. Try to network into sync. I mean, just Google sync deals and stuff like that. There's a lot of people looking for music. They like to have a library to grab from and use it. Hey, I got this Netflix documentary. We just need 20 seconds of a song. It needs to sound kind of like this. Have different styles in your little folders and stuff. That way you can shop them to these licensee people. And I think that's the way to go. People like to just go. So the problem is what these new producers do. I don't like when they do this. They water down the industry. They'll say, I'll give you 3 beats for $20. And sometimes the beats are okay, but most of them are, cut and paste, copy and paste kind of things. And it's like, no, dude, the beats used to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in the 90s. And now everyone's just going, I want to make a quick buck. And then when I want to charge someone at least I'll roll out of bed over, if you're going to give me like 1,000 or 2,000 just to give me as a down payment for a beat. That's the way that once you come in and say $200, I'll do it for $200. Well, now this guy's taking the jobs from, you're undercutting. So I would say, don't underprice your beats and also try to get them synced. Get sync deals. That's what you really want. That's the longevity because those are in perpetuity. I mean, if your song gets played on a commercial, you see the same commercials all the time. That's a check. Boom.
That keeps adding up, right?
That adds up. I don't have commercials. I have weird off-brand stuff like the Olympics. By the way, when I was trying to collect for my first time, the Olympics in Paris, the first one, I wrote to him. I said, hey, man, what do I need to do? He said, send me a 1099 and an invoice and stuff like that. I go, okay. But he's all, first of all, we don't know if we actually used your song yet. I go, dude, I got NBC Sports using my song on here. He goes, can you send me that for evidence? And I'm like, dude, what is this? Why are we litigating this? You guys asked me for the song. What? And you don't know you used it? So I sent them the thing to prove it. And they go, okay, it checks out. I was like, why are you holding me hostage for a check? Anyways. So, yeah, I mean, it's good to get management, too, to handle all that. I used to have an admin and a manager to handle all that business stuff. So I do it all myself now.
I have a question. This just came up because I was hearing you talk about this and, how there can be what's perceived as royalties, all this, especially like it sounds like you could probably make a good jingle for a commercial, and next thing you know, it's like it just adds up, right? But I have a question. In modernity right now, in 2026, like even in other industries, we notice that there's an onslaught of AI with everything, even like because you had remarked on one of the video clips that I had made of you bursting through the walls of the woke autopsy studio and all this, you said haters will say that's AI or whatever else.
Yeah.
With AI on the verge of kind of like creating new music, new everything, pictures, video, everything else, do you see AI kind of ruining the industry a little bit when it comes to beats and producing?
Dude, you landed right perfect in the conversation I'm having with I'll keep his name out of it, but another producer. We're kind of watching. Snoop's going to drop a new album on the 10th next month, and usually by now we would have got a call from his lawyers that we made the album. So obviously it didn't work, but we heard some of the previews to it, and he's not crediting anyone on there, and we're thinking, did he use AI production? And I know he has Death Row AI. And we're thinking, dude, he better not have used AI to produce this album.
Wait, there's Death Row AI? Is that a thing?
Well, yeah, he coined this. He's got it's Death Row AI on Instagram or something. It's him and his dog, and his dog talks to him, and he's like getting high with his dog or whatever.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't have to like everything he does. I'm not like a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I mean, I can make fun of the funny stuff, but we do have we're suspect. We think that maybe he used some production. I know he used Swiss Beats for one of the songs on the album, so it's not a full AI album, but some of the beats he didn't credit anyone, and we're going, whose beat is that? That doesn't sound. And he usually tags someone. He'll tag you. I mean, he's not like a dick or anything. And we're like, dude, what if you used AI to produce this album? That'd be kind of cringe.
Yeah.
You know? Like I use AI. So on Cringecore, if you saw that, well, actually that video wasn't AI. That was just clips. But most of our stuff, I use Ozzy. He does my AI video. But the music itself, I try to pride myself on the fact that my music is I'm making myself.
Because you know the reason why I bring it up too is because you're familiar with the producer Timbaland, right? Yeah. Timbaland had signed a new artist, and I'm pretty sure you're aware of this. I don't know if you've heard this, Vic, but he signed a new artist that wasn't real. It was a woman, and that was AI, and he literally signed an AI artist that sings now. Like, I'm just like, you're signing shit that doesn't even exist. How do you feel about this? Like, if that's going to be the direction of the industry, do you think that's good or bad?
Well, I know right now they're actually settling this in court. I think AI is not allowed to, or they're allowed to. If you use an AI thing, they can copyright and take it from you back, or something like that.
Grok can give their artist back. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think they're trying to put a stop to it. Yeah, they're trying to put a stop to it. I think they're or at least trying to get their hands on it somehow and say, you can't just make an AI album and just say you did it. They're trying to litigate that right now. I think they're going through some stuff where you can't, there's some fine print and stuff in there because people are kind of getting carried away with the AI stuff. And they're just saying, I think Jim Bob goes after a guy. He accuses him of using AI lyrics. I've got his name, but he always constantly clowns after him because the lyrics are just so AI sounding.
Well, it's happening so much to the point. I don't know if you know about the newest update right now, the new movie that's coming out. It's not even out yet. And Val Kilmer has passed away for a long time. They used AI for the remaining of the production to put Val Kilmer in the rest. And I think the family gave permission and stuff. But I'm like, okay, so Val Kilmer, who isn't really going to be in this movie, is going to be in the next movie that's coming out. It's like, when is it bad and then when is it good? What's the threshold? Because if you're going to come out with an album and then you gave all the prompts and everything else, like let's say you stood up all night and you had to come up with these ideas to put in the prompts, but the AI helped you out with that. Like, what's the threshold where you think it's bad and where you can do that and can't do it? Like, when you make money, that's the threshold, or?
Yeah, I mean, with music,
that's a crazy thing to litigate, by the way.
Yeah, and then with music, it's the same way. Like if I did a remix of a song, or I did if I took someone's vocals and I did a remix of the song, and I said I produced the song, which is kind of what I do with Exhibit. I've been doing that for years. If I were to put that on all the platforms and I'm getting revenue from it, that's when they put a stop to it. So I think once you start monetizing off of that's when they step in. I think if they find like that's why SoundCloud is so useful because you can just put anything on there. You're not monetizing on SoundCloud, so people put remixes there.
So I'll even bring Doctor. If I'll even bring Vic into this. Like, let's say Vic was an artist, and I looked at Vic's debates, and then I said, I want to use Vic's voice, but I want to copy it to AI as much as possible. Therefore, I can make Vic say anything. It's not his voice. It's just the closest replica to Vic's voice. Vic turns around and says, hey, that sounds like me. No, it's not. It's in the closest AI rendition of your voice. Can Vic then sue me for using something close to his voice or sounds like his voice? That's the thing that I want to get it. Like, I'm just wondering how far we're going to go with this because I know that they had like, you know how you have Waze and Google Maps where they now have like Samuel Jackson telling you, turn right, motherfucker. Like, they're literally doing shit like this to where it's like, well, I would personally rather have Morgan Freeman direct my like routes and stuff where it's like, okay, so what lengths can we sue people for having the likeness of your voice and say, well, that's not your voice. AI is just saying it's a cool Vic-esque voice, but it's not Vic. So you can't really sue me. It's like, how ridiculous can this get? Do you see this getting really ridiculous in the industry where people are like, well, it's not exactly Dr. Evil's beat, but it sounds like that. Like,
yeah, I think they'll crack down. You have to make noise though. I mean, kind of like the Napster thing. Like Metallica was like, hey, dude, it's cool. You guys have been stealing our music for a while though. Now we need to start getting like, give us our due. And that's how it transforms. I think that's how the whole MP3 stuff transformed. Because people were using LimeWire and Napster. And then the bands were going, hey, dude, no one's paying for our albums. And we spent 8 months, a year to make this whole thing.
It was killing the industry.
Yeah. It was just they created enough noise in order to engage with the actual problem. So I think it would have to be enough complaining for it to work. The squeaky wheel getting the grease, you know?
So it's cool if you're nobody doing this, but it's not cool if you're really making a killing doing it. That's the threshold that we're seeing right now.
Is, how much are you bringing in? Right.
Damn, man. So as long as I'm on food stamps, I make bangers all day. Okay, got it. We can do that. All right. We've been at this for 2 hours. Normally we go for about an hour. Is there anything you want to say to like the fans out there, people who maybe a fun fact about you or some weird story that you got from the industry? I'm like flushing all the, emptying the tank out here. Go ahead.
No, I don't know what the as far as cringecore is concerned, because I don't really know what that is. I don't know if we're at almost 800. We got 800 subs.
Yeah, I heard you bring that up. Cringecore. That's kind of like the roasting channel that you have.
Yeah, it's like a satirical. Jim Bob seemed to think that it has a lot of. He says, "I like where you guys are going." He calls us a team. It's me and Ozzy. Ozzy does the AI, but we did a video for Jim Bob for his birthday, and it was all him, and he gave me credit for it. I'm like, dude, you don't have to do that. But he did an AI. I don't know if you guys could pull it up. It's funny, but it's about he used AI as Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro gave him a lift. I don't know. Are you guys good talking about the people that we can't talk about?
What do you mean?
Anyway,
Like
it's on YouTube. It never got
Jays.
It's on Cringecore. But anyways, Ozzy did that. That's kind of like, we don't know if we're going to keep it as a music thing or maybe call it Cringecore Media and maybe, expand it into something where we're doing podcasts. So we kind of don't know where we're going to go yet. So that's kind of where I'm at. Musically, I'll just be on the sidelines, just like Snoop will email me and go, hey, I like that song. What are you going to do with it? I'm like, I don't know. You can have it. And it's like, when? It could be a year from now. So, I don't have anything really yet in the works as far as albums, but Cringecore is what I'm working on. And especially since Jay's debate tonight, I got, obviously, We Was Kangs Part 2 coming out.
Oh, man, you heard it here first. We was that's going to be a banger. But I do got to bring this up on stage because you brought it up, and I was laughing because I'm trying not to laugh because I first saw the screenshot of this or the screen, and I'm like, I got to bring this back on screen real quick. The next share screen I have. Is this what you're referring to?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man, hold on. Nick, have you seen this before?
I saw it shared actually. I seen it shared, but I didn't watch the video itself.
I haven't seen this either, but
Yeah.
he's been working out. Maybe I was training him at one point.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. He's,
All right, let's.
yeah,
I guess I got new competition this year for the Olympia. All right,
Shoulders looking good.
pretty vascular.
I know, man. Like he's on the program I'm on right now. All right, let's play this.
Hello? Who is this?
Hello, Goy Bob. This is Ben Shapiro. Your impression of me is extremely anti-Semitic.
Your impression of me is anti-Semitic.
Very funny, Goy. I'm sending a vehicle to pick you up. I have something to show you.
Wait, hold on. Did you do the music to this, or did you do anything? What did you do with this, Dr. Evil?
No, that's the whole thing. I didn't even I bounced some ideas back with Ozzy, but that was about it. He did all this. This is all. I'm going to give Ozzy the credit for this one.
Oh, so this is all Ozzy doing this.
This is all Ozzy, but this is our banner, the Cringecore banner, and this was a birthday gift because he didn't know it was coming. And they always make fun of Jim Bob's shoulders, so we over accentuated the.
I'm friends with
like
Jim
the shoulders
Bob
looking good
on Instagram, but I messaged him and I'm like, the guy was like, I'm not Jim Bob. I'm just kind of like a different account that's not Jim Bob. I'm like, all right, I guess this isn't Jim Bob. All right, let's continue.
Look at this.
That is great, bro. You guys are really. That is crazy.
You know what Willy Wonka he took off with at the end of the Willy Wonka?
I can't believe watching this. This is insane.
I mean,
of course, this
AI,
is Daily Wire on the side.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Goy Bob. You'll have to excuse me. I'm not used to answering the door. My Chabos Negro Brandon Tatum is out of town this weekend, and we all have to make sacrifices.
How very judo Christian of you.
Follow me.
You say judo Christian?
Yeah. Judo. Yeah.
Bro, really?
You're going to want to see this.
No.
What the hell are you doing, Benny Boo?
We need him, Goy Bob. Who else is going to power Michaela's brain?
Sign up for Peterson Academy. Sign up for Peterson Academy.
Well, Goy Bob, I have something to show you. Follow me, retard.
My friend, made by Jim Bob. Listen carefully. A birthday is not just some trivial passage of time. No. It constitutes the heroic confrontation with the edge of the unreplicable abyss. It is the moment the hero must voluntarily descend once more into the primordial soup of untestable dogma. And yet, here is the critical point, and you must understand this. The instant anyone demands a true test, those heads evaporate. They cannot withstand the light of daddy's scrutiny. There, coiled in the depths, waits the Chaos Dragon, a bloated, grant-guzzling hydra. Its many bearded heads endlessly regurgitating stories of corkscrew sperm inscription and clownfish gender rituals you have exposed with ruthless precision that this creature is not science. It is unfalsifiable narrative pretending to be a theory. From its
So that was Jim Bob doing his voice, right? I think that Jim Bob is really good at like trying to replicate his voice.
Well, the thing with Ozzy is the program he uses, he submits a voice and let it hear it for like 30 minutes and it'll translate it and do it itself.
Oh, wow.
Wow, this is crazy.
Anyways, you can watch that. You don't have to watch that at all right now, but
Yo, listen up,
Wes
Jim
Watson,
Bob. Happy birthday, bro. You already know what time it is, King. While you out here destroying these.
That's crazy.
My dear brother, made by Jim Bob. I approach you
that
this
Marty
day
Leeds guy
from the
he always
exalted
debates.
moral.
Wait, who is that?
Marty Leeds. I guess he's always in there challenging to debate Jay and Jim Bob, but it's just one of his little guys that he makes fun of.
That's crazy. That's a good birthday gift.
Yeah, that is
That's
pretty
pretty cool.
sweet.
Yeah, Ozzy goes crazy.
I bet he didn't even expect that. That must just wondering what his expression was like. But yeah, man, I appreciate you being our guest on Woke Autopsy. This has been another episode 6, actually, right, Vic? I think we're at 6 so far for this year. But yeah, do you want to say anything to the fans out there, for anybody else who's listening, where they could find you, what you do, anything you want to leave with?
Just at Dr. Evo Producer on Instagram, and then I want to grow the Cringecore Records on YouTube. So those are the two ways you can enjoy the fruits of my labor, I guess. But yeah, thanks for having me on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I told you it was going to be a banger. Well, of course, provided you showed up, it was going to be a banger for sure. And it indeed was. I had a pretty good time. By the way, I look forward to talking to you soon. I think I'm from what I saw last time, I was going to help you out with the program, but I still plan on doing that to help you out with that. I know that I don't know what your past history was with fitness or health or training or anything like that, but we'll get into that. I'll talk to you off camera and help you out with that. But anyways, it's been a pleasure doing this interview with you. I am Marte Reyes. You guys can find me at OTE on the Edge. It's my other subsidiary channel besides TPNN, Trash Panda News Network, where the best coons report from the dumpsters and tell you all the dumpster fire business going on for the day. And this is my illustrious co-host, Cool Vic. Where can they find you?
That's right. Yes, I am Cool Vic. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Cool Vic, just like how you see it spelled on the screen. I am also on X too. Just look up my name on there. You'll find me. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Man, I got one of the best co-hosts on the planet, man. I'll tell you that right now. The guy's good. And not to mention that, but we wouldn't be here without you guys, the fans. But also, at the same time, we appreciate your gracious presence for being here. Evo, I know that you don't get out here and talk to people often, and I know that this was like new to you. The whole face reveal thing, exclusive. We was Kings too. Looking forward to it, bro. So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be awesome.
All right, man. I appreciate it, but that's a wrap for this episode. Stay tuned next week, ladies and gentlemen. We have quite the banger of a next guest for you guys. But anyways, we'll see you guys soon. And Christ is God. I'll say that for myself.
Christ is
Yeah.
God.
Go to liturgy and don't be a degen.
Yeah, don't get degen beats and then do booty clapping degen, music. I mean, if you do that, whatever you do. But I'm not going to partake in that. That's somebody else's business, not mine. But anyways, you guys take care and peace out.
All right. See you guys.
Good night, everybody.